Are we live? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hold on. I wonder, when OBS tells me that my encoding overloaded, does it mean it loses FPS? But it doesn't say to me that there is any dropped frames. What does it mean? Is it just the preview for me is just a little bit wonky? Maybe? Today I finally catch up with all of the VODs that I need to upload on YouTube, which was super nice. I mean, except for this VOD that we're doing right now, but it's okay. I was also doing like 15 hours of rendering. Maybe a little less. Maybe, I mean, it told me it was 15 hours. Maybe it was like 11 or something. It was rendering all night. Pretty annoying to fall asleep at the sound of your pretty loud PC, if you ask me. Also, third stream a week. Isn't it nice? What? How the fuck George's West is closed up? There's no buttons. Oh, maybe it's like inside buttons. Is this fashionable? Is this? Why the fuck does he have buttons on his collar then? But not on his, this thing. Vest? I want to say vest, but I don't know what vest actually means. What are they doing? Oh, it's Jerry's proposal to Sharon, right? What happened last time? Claire died, right? Or something. They funeraled Beatrice. They buried Beatrice, maybe? And then we are doing new game all over again, and they kidnapped Leon and they kidnapped Angie for some reason. What was Angie doing for all the entity of 7th episode? Episode 7. Episode 7 is the one that we just finished, right? Because there is only one episode left, episode 8. Yo. I'm EP, so I'm not having a lot of energy. Don't hold it against me. Too much. Too much. Really? Yeah, really. What were you talking about? Oh, George was jealous of Butler. Who's writing this game, I wonder? The truth is, when I heard that Butler-kun would be coming back this year, I felt unhappy about it first. Why? 6 years ago, Butler-kun was the one who was really close to you. I wanted to get closer to you, but I just couldn't manage to get between the two of you. You two just look made for each other, and all I could do is watch and longingly. Longingly? Is this how you remember it? I didn't really think we were made for each other. It just Butler somewhat teased me. You two were a perfect couple. Were they? They were like, how old? 10? 12? What are you talking about, George? They didn't talk to each other for 6 years. What? That's so rational. There's no doubt about it. I was sure that you two were going out. They were 12. What are you talking about? That never happened. You're thinking too much. I really am pathetic. I was afraid that I hand you this ring today and you'll refuse. George, are you insecure? That's why, Sharon is so young. That's why? Why is that? Why would I refuse your ring, George, son? Because Butler-kun came back. I was afraid deep down you might still like Butler-kun. Imagine refusing the ring from the guy who was courting you for like past 6 years for a guy that you We're in love 6 years ago and didn't talk even once since then. Damn. And now that he was here, you wouldn't have any use for me. Shannon jump scare. George-san, please look at this. Do you see this silver glint on my ring finger? What do you think it is? You're right. Sorry. What got me so shaken, I wonder? I'm probably feeling jealous at the fact that he's cooler than ever 6 years later. How pathetic. It is really pathetic, you're right. Sharon, did George know you have multiple personalities? Asking for a friend. No, it's okay. Those feelings are a sign that your love for me is so strong. You don't want to give me up to anyone. If you worry about my feelings switching to Butler-sama, please love me so strongly that the thought never enters my mind. Love me so much that I don't have time to think about any other man. Yo. I'm scared too. I'm sure you meet many women in the future who have much more attractive qualities than I do. Or I might not meet your expectation and you might tire of me. It scares me to think that I might not be able to keep you to myself for the rest of our lives. There's no need for you to be scared of that. I swear to uphold my love for you as long as I live. Top 10 anime encounters that didn't age well. And I swore the same thing, but you stopped taking my word for it when Butler-sama came back. Shannon giggled. George finally realized that his own lack of confidence had hurt her. I won the heart of a wonderful man named Shiramiya George-san, and he has sworn to love me all this life and given me a ring as a sign of this oath. With this ring wearing my ring finger, I'm going to be honest with you. Sure. Yes, as you said, I did like Butler-sama 6 years ago. I think I probably like him more than you. However, that was 6 years ago, based. Now things are different. In these 6 years, I've sorted out my feelings for Butler-sama and put them in the past along with the memories. Now, I exist only to love you. Shannon spoke clearly and strongly. George gave a single, uncertain laugh. It was probably the same sort the George of 6 years ago had made. Then he straightened up his back and hugged Shannon without saying a word. In this moment, he parted ways with the person he had been 6 years ago. Nice scene, guys. Really cool. Is Erika coming this time? Oh, they're solving the riddle. I forgot about it. I've got the ladder. Here we go. Quadrillion. Oh, they knew! This is the only place you find a number written on the island. 1/10 of a K. Who'd have thought it? If our idea is right, then the letters of the relief should be the mechanism. We just need to check. Who's going up? I'll go. Hold that ladder steady, okay? Be careful. It's fairly high. Dolph climbed up, propped up ladder, step by step as rain poured down on him. Look at the queue. See anything? Does it look like there's anything on it? There's a bit of a play. Crap. What is it? Did something happen? Bingo! Take a look at this. Rudolph tossed the cue down. It hit Kraus on the shoulder and landed in the puddle. This is a key. What does it mean? Rudolph-kun, can you take out the other letters too? Yeah, look like it. Guess our crazy theories were on the right track after all. What's the next letter to take out? I. And then L. Drone. Following her instruction, Rudolph removed the 6 letters of the first twilight. Now that they had gotten this far, nothing stood in the way of them solving the riddle. By trial and error, they finally reached the final stage. Lightning conveniently strikes every time they separate the two letters. It says to go straight from the heart, which must mean going from left to right. Does it? Rodolphe-san, starting from the left, turn the keys before taking them out. Got it. Now we massacred all of the letters. So none are left alive in the Nan's toilet. Yo, none are left alive. So, did something happen? I feel like something clicked, but nothing different. You didn't notice a whole statue being reversed here? Okay. Maybe a hidden door or something open up somewhere. Hey, look at that! It moved! I'm sure it did! Huh? Everyone look! The lion statue facing the other way. What is going on? Is there some secret inside the lion statue? That's not it. It's probably telling us to look where the lion's pointing. See? Look this way. The lion's facing a different way too. What does it mean? It's guiding us, stupid! We have to go in the direction the lion face. Eva dashed ahead. The others all chased after her. The gold was right in front of them. What's gonna happen? Okay, they did find this. Now this is a surprise. Who would have thought that a hidden stairway like this existed? It makes sense now. Father didn't like people going near the chapel. I wonder how long that mechanism had been here. Judging by the feel of the underground passage, probably for a quite long time. I imagine it was nearly the same time that the mansion itself was built. Why is this underground passage looks better than the military base they were for like couple of years? How long they were in the military base? For like couple of months, right? Why is this passage that was built years and years ago looks better than a military base, where military was like for a couple of months? The riddle of the epitaph was probably also planned many decades ago. Well, this is that we're talking about. I try not to let the things he does surprise me, but this? Just how far does this stairway go? Hey, maybe that old rumor was true. You know, the story about him having a mistress in a hidden mansion somewhere in the forest? I see. It's likely that the underground passage goes all the way here. I wonder if it's connected to the mansion from the day. I think we found the goal. Look at the filthy door. Something's written on it. Ooh, this is it. Something was written on the door in red paint. On the 10th twilight, the journey ends, and you shall reach the home of a cult. Does it open? It does. Ready? I'm going to open it. We have finally reached the gold? It sounds too good to be true, but I'm wishing it is it. Let's open it, Nasan. Right. Here goes. Is gold going to be here? The heavy door opened slowly. Then the gold-filled underground VIP room showed itself. Cool. They only had an instant to admire the splendid furnishing of the underground VIP room. As soon as the mountain of gold next to the canopy bed came into sight, they all froze, stunned. After a second, this stunned silence faded and was replaced by cries of astonishment and wild joy. Incredible! I can't believe it! It's 20 billion yen in gold! It really, really exists! What a shining mountain, it almost blinds the eyes. We did it! We did it! We win this game! Did you? You mustn't touch it without permission! This is Father's gold! Oh, really? Then why don't you call Father down here now? Right away! Your little farce is long over. That's Hina-san. Let's put an end to the obvious lies, shall we? This mountain of gold is as real as it can be. Let's all just have as real as... Let's all be Let's all be just as real with one another. Fortunately, we're all in a good mood and feeling very generous right now. Just give it up already! A pile of gold this massive carries magical power within it. The power draws out the most honest feeling within people. The light from the chandelier glinted off the golden mountain, lighting them up with a golden gleam. It was as though the gleam manipulated them. For some time they forgot their age, and howled and laughed, running about and rolling around like a bunch of exciting kindergartens at the park. And then, what is all this? What's it supposed to mean? The epitaph has been solved before the crime occurred, and by all of the siblings together. That hasn't happened in any of the games before now. Supposedly, Beatrice decided not to commit the crime that the epitaph was solved. Yeah, supposedly. I wonder. I just snorted, but I believed. This is what Claire declared. Claire declared. She entrusted everything to the roulette of fate, so she would obey the result. She let the roulette decide her own fate specifically because they couldn't decide on their own. So she'll do what it says. She'll follow her own rule. She'll definitely keep her promise. It won't occur, the crime. Are you sure about this? Yeah, her roulette has already made its decision. This is the end of her game. If it is the end, what happened next? They all become happy rich people and leave the family conference unharmed? My family comes back to me with a souvenir of an ingot that isn't made of chocolate? And everything ends happily? You think those witches would chain us to chairs to show us a naive dream like that? Love the chain graphic. When she showed off the chain of her wrist with a clunk, I was unable to counter her with confidence. But I want to believe that Claire's game has now come to one point of its possible conclusion, even if it's at least the least eventful. She's still here. Perhaps just once at the end she wanted to show us a world where no crimes occur. Having disappeared with no regrets, perhaps she left us a parting gift in the form of a game where no crimes occurred, in a sense, the most peaceful sort of game. I would like to believe that. If only these heavy gold chains, cold chains weren't holding us in a place in this theater. Is someone here? Rosa's shrill cry brought the celebrating to an immediate stop. Rosa knew she'd seen it. The curtain against the wall had fluttered, and the shape of a person has been there behind it. None of that, if you don't mind. You're just imagining things. Is someone here? If you are, come out! When Eva yelled, the curtain shook. Oh, Beata's here. And then, a witch wearing a black dress appeared from the other side. In an instant, everyone realized that the dress was the same as the one worn by the witch of the portrait. And they realized one more thing. This person was the owner of this room. Welcome to the Room of Gold. Her face and her voice were expressionless, blank. The others all looked at each other, wondering who should respond. Rodolphe was the one to speak. So, you are Beatrice? Indeed. And you're the one who gave Maria the letter? Indeed. Is father behind this? No. This is my game. If that's so, then we won. We solved the epitaph's riddle and found the gold. I accepted your challenge and won. This means this gold belongs to us, right? Indeed, it is as you say. You have solved the epitaph splendidly and discovered the hidden gold. This game ends in your victory. This gold no longer belongs to me, but to all of you. It seems you're graceful in defeat. Hey, you. If we hadn't solved the epitaph's riddle, what were you planning to do? The letter said that you take everything of the Shremia family. Yes, I plan to take all of your wealth and all of your lives. I plan to do as I please with everything that exists on this island. The witch walked towards the table next to the bed. Then for the first time the others realized what sat on a table. They were 4 rifles! There was also a case filled with bullets. The witch picked up one of the lead bullets lying on the table and played with this, her face still expressionless as she spoke. If the night had ended before you managed to solve the epitaph's riddle, I plan to follow its instructions and commit 13 murders. What did you say? That's what I thought when I first saw the epitaph. It almost looked like something you'd find in a serial murder mystery novel. Curie, don't be so glad about that! That's right. If you had killed 13 people to match the epitaph, that would have made for quite a mysterious crime. There's no way you do all that by yourself. No matter how many guns you have, killing 13 people, that would just be... My planning was meticulous and involved many different alternatives. I envisioned all of the action you might take from tonight and through tomorrow and prepared a mystery to deal with each of those. I'm afraid I can no longer reveal them, but I had quite a number of intricate and entertaining long-term murders prepared. You could probably have gunned a few of us down in our sleep. Really? But there is no way you'd have been able to kill 13 of us. We aren't that stupid. It would seem so. I will admit that the habit of being solved before the first twilight was the result I considered the most unlikely. So you never accounted for us reaching this place? That is not so. Even this was only a result of the roulette I wished to create. And it is most likely the best outcome for all of you. No one will die, and you can leave this island with the gold. Congratulations. This game ends with a perfect victory for you all. If no one could solve the riddle, she planned to take those guns and commit a serial murder. Everyone gulped as they watched the witch and emotionlessly make her confession. If your confession is the truth, that means you were trying to kill us. Were? Yeah, that is true. The hell? I can't believe you can just admit to that. You can't possibly expect it to treat you favorably now that you revealed this to us. Bitch! It's her gold. She can do whatever she wants. I am prepared. You may do as you will with me. If you hadn't solved the epitaph, I would have done the same to you, so it's only fair. This girl has got guts. I planned this game because I was prepared to bet my life. I am satisfied with the result. If you wish to kill me now, I am prepared. She no longer even treasured her life. The witch walked towards the others as she spoke, and they automatically stepped back. The gold belongs all to you. The gold belongs to all of you. I plan to give everything to the one who discovered it first, but I didn't expect there to be 7 of you. I leave the decision to flow to split the gold to 7 of you. I will not involve myself. And... The witch walked even closer. She walked through the middle of the group, up to the antique clock behind them. New background, okay. Look at this door, damn. Really pretty door. The clock was large and had a dignified feel to it. The witch patted it and spoke. Allow me to explain the device within this clock. For you have gained not just the gold, but the entirety of this island. What do you mean by that? If you interpret the epitaph as a series of murders, then yes, there are only certain people killed in the first 8 twilights, but in the 9th twilight, it clearly says that none shall be left alive. If she bombs the island in the end? What does this mean? In other words, she was planning to massacre all of us? Don't tell me this clock. As you have guessed, it is connected to a set of explosives! Yuppie! No way! She bombed the fucking island! Really? Are you the one who set this up? Or was it Ushiramiya Kinzo? Ushiramiya Kinzo is the one who set up the device! The device is the source of his mad magical power. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. In other words, Dad set up this bomb, and if he ever went broke, he was prepared to die in a blast that would wipe away everything including himself? On this island, the Shiramiya Kinzo made a contract with the Golden Witch and obtained the gold. However, that was not all he gained. What are you talking about? Wait, don't tell me. Is this because of a military base? Yeah? There is that rumor about remains of an old Japanese military base existing on Rokijima. Could it be... Your guess is correct. Beneath this island sleeps the remains of an underground Japanese military base from the time of the war, along with 900 tons of explosives. Why the fuck did he have 900 tons of explosives? 900 tons? That's unbelievable! If that explodes, the result would be unimaginable! Forget just the mansion blowing up, I'd leave a massive crater! How the fuck Eva survived this? In one of the universes, what? I believe experts estimate measure it as a whole several dozen meters deep and kilometers across. There wouldn't be even a trace left. There's a special mechanism that controls the detonation of these explosives. Just switch it... This switch I just flipped arms the mechanism. The witch thought it was a switch on the top of the antique clock. If midnight arrives while the switch in this position, the explosive will detonate. But it's almost midnight now! In other words, it's not a time bomb that explodes at a certain number of hours when you activate. It's one that only explodes at the stroke of midnight. Indeed, it is almost midnight now. It's an explosion. If an explosion is what you desire, you can just leave it like this. Who would want this? Turn it off! By the time, Kinzo was probably the only one who knew. The secret base on Rokijima has started out as a submarine base. However, when the plan reached a standstill, it was ratified as a top-secret base for homeland defense. A huge plan has been drawn up to have an army and navy perform a pincer attack on American forces in the latter. As the latter decided to land on the Kuriki beach and press towards Tokyo. As a trump card was a massive defensive maneuver, the Navy started stockpiling large quantities of explosive and fuel in absolute secrecy. This is insane! What? They were putting explosive on this island, and still they were in a position when government didn't give a single fuck about them? Are you crazy? And the Rokijima base was a location those were stockpiled at. The total weight of a buried explosive was 900 tons. Also, fearing that the American might find out the island's secret and seize the explosive, they set up a system for the self-destruction of the entire island. Kinzo, who knew about all of this, decided not only to keep this self-destruct system active, but to connect it up to the strange clock that could cause an explosion any night at midnight. What? This is just like my life, damn! Kinzo is famous for building up his funds using the vast store of gold, and then using those funds in several sink-or-swim gambles one after another. Just what did this stockpile of gold and the 900 tons of sleeping explosive mean to him? You know, I need the guy who wrote kanji to time travel kanji into this time and to get Kanji to do a heist on this island. Holy fuck, this is incredible. This is amazing. I mean, it's as amazing as bad it is. How the fuck government forgot about all of them? This is, whoa. So those explosives are probably not working after all those years. That's not how explosive works. Oh, really? They're not working after all those years? No, they do. I mean, yeah, they do, because every time in every previous game nobody was left alive, and it's hinted that they were all exploded. That's so annoying that the one time that Eva survived, that never mentioned that there are a huge fucking crater instead of... Wait. Maybe they aren't working. Because Enji came to Rokijima, and Rokijima was not... maybe you are right. Maybe they aren't working. Maybe it's just bait. Damn. Just what did the stockpile of gold and the 900 tons of sleeping explosive mean to him? At this point, we can only speculate. Perhaps the true source of Kinza's mad power wasn't the gold after all. Yeah, he was just crazy. Who would have thought? Perhaps it was this device with which he could erase himself and this entire island from existence if he lost a big gamble and all that he owned. Yeah, I mean it in a plot hole thing. If it was real life, they wouldn't work, or only a few won't. Same thing happens to nukes even. Oh, really? Nukes has what's the word? Exploration. What's the word? Hold on. Yeah, explosive have them. That's so cool. Hold on. Exploration that. Yay! Exactly. Thank you. Hold on. So, in order for a country to be like, you know, nuke country, they need to continue making nukes? I thought they just make it once and have them. But no! They like need to continue making them? Whoa! That's cool! I mean, it's really bad, but it's also really cool and really fucked up. Damn! Huh. I wonder how much money countries who have nukes put into this. Or at least maintain them, rebrush them. Whoa. That's awesome. From knowledge perspective, not from real life perspective. It's obviously kinda fucked up. Perhaps it was this device with which he could erase himself and this entire island from existence if he lost a big gamble and all that he owned. He must have been putting the gold and everything else he had on the line at every point in his life. Kinzo would probably look at this clock at times, maybe flipping the activation switch and letting the clock tick down. Okay. Whenever things got tough and he got stuck, maybe he would hide in here and flip the switch. He might have made it a rule for himself that he would blow everything away if he couldn't think of a brilliant plan before the midnight came. Damn. Why didn't he just do like Russian roulette stuff? Why did he... So annoying. That's why some countries are skeptical about some countries' threats of using nuclear devices when simple math reveals they don't have them or don't work. But I think we don't want to get into this real life stuff. Huh. That's curious. God. Okay. all things that I want to say about this are bad, so let's actually not go here. He couldn't think of a brilliant plan before midnight came, think. He would gaze at the mountain of gold, listening to the clock tick towards his death as he searched for an idea. Perhaps Ishirimiya Kinzo's real study wasn't the one in the mansion, but this place instead. Still, you wouldn't play chicken with nukes. Anyway, This whole setup sounds just like that, so maybe each time Dad worried about something, all of us kids were put on the line as well. For our father, it wouldn't be unthinkable. Keynes is such a bad father. This device now belongs to all of you. If you want a massive explosion, use it whenever you please. Are you crazy? Who'd want a big explosion? This explosive are half a century old, right? Would they really go off? Yeah, of course. The explosive and the fuses are still working. I tested them myself. You... How the fuck did you tested them, honey? You tested them? Could it be that? Yeah, now I finally understand. So that's why the shrine disappeared without a trace. Really? Oh, fuck me! Again? I don't have any space in my... whatever, fuck you. Here you go, there's an explanation. No, but it doesn't track. Because Angie comes back to Rokijima and Rokijima is in one place. So I think what you said is actually correct. They shouldn't work. Yes, now I finally understand. That's why the shrine disappeared without a trace. This summer, the shrine had disappeared without a trace, along with a reef under it. It felt strange that the waves could have destroyed it without a trace like this, but no one had paid it any much mind. And now this piece perfectly fit into the hole, left with a strange feeling. Well, we'll see, I guess. Wasn't there to see Angie come back to the island. You should trust me, she came back and everything was intact. Indeed, I used the shrine to test whether the explosive were still working after half a century. I believe you are all aware of the result. Oh! This refers to a bit where Shannon destroyed the shrine. Destroyed the mirror? Maybe it was the same? Oh, it was! Huh. So it was said that Beato put Shannon to destroy a mirror that was in the shrine. And then, right after Shannon destroyed the mirror, the shrine itself was struck by lightning, in quotes. So so it's only confirmed that Shannon is Beato, I guess? Kinda? In a way? The little bit I used was enough to make this entire reef vanish. I'm sure you can imagine 900 tons of that would cause an explosion large enough to rewrite the map. If an explosion like this happened, all of us would most certainly die. But what would you have done? I somehow doubt that you intended on going down with the rest of us. The underground VIP room is connected to an underground passage from the remains of a military base. If you go straight along here, you'll come out at the hidden mansion on the opposite side of the island, Covadorian. It's about 2 kilometers away. If you make it all the way here, it should be possible to escape the blast. I see, so you plan to escape so they're just before the blast. I have only said that such a thing is possible. You may not believe this, but if the ninth twilight had ended before any of you could solve the riddle, I plan to die alone with everything else. Why would she do this? There's something seriously wrong with this girl. She's insane. There's no point thinking about it. If we hadn't solved the epitaph, she would have used those guns, or else the switch, to massacre all of us. There's no doubt in my mind. You are correct. You have ended this game in the best possible way without there being even a single victim. I wish to convey my respect and admiration. Though it was a 7-person effort, it took only a single night to solve the riddle that took me a very long time to solve. That is worthy of a praise. I also admire for you graciousness and honesty in defeat. We aren't decided how you will be dealt with, but I hope to do all I can to reach a gentlemanly agreement. Do not concern yourself with me any longer. As someone who is already prepared to kill you and die in the process, I'm already one of the dead. The Golden Witch Beatrice solved the epitaph, reached this room, and revived. And now, new people had solved the riddle and reached this room, so her role was finished. When the epitaph's riddle was solved, Beatrice's witch illusion ended. Most likely no one in this room would have been capable of understanding her tragic resolve. She herself is probably the only one who could. As long as the many selves inside of her understood, this was enough. I am one yet many. I entrust myself to the magical roulette of endless possibilities. The result, the answer, is this. This is what the tarot cards, known as the ritual of the epitaph, had shown me. Not chess anymore, Beatrice is now dead. They did not kill her. I killed her myself, in accordance with the fate's command. They will never understand, for all eternity. What's gonna happen? She's gonna just be Sharon from now on? I have a theory, just one word, greed. Greed will end everything. Maybe. The witch stared up at the ceiling without speaking for a while, then looked at as though she suddenly remembered something. She grabbed at the sleeves of her dress and took out some sort of a card. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have no need for money after death. I will give this to all of you as well. A cash card? I have converted a portion of the gold to cash. This is for the account that the money is in. I see. So this is magical energy of the Golden Witch. How much is an account? I've forgotten the exact figure. However, there is more than 1 billion yen. 1 billion? No, that really is magic. True. There is nothing you could do with this much money. Very true. The strongest magic to counter the human's anti-magic toxin is this magic of gold. Ooh. So she just paid people to believe in whatever the fuck she was telling them. Okay. Magical essence of the witch never go outside without it. True, true. It may have been this card hold greater power than the ingots. Certainly, cash would be much more agreeable than ingots. Here you go. I have no need for this anymore. The card she held out was not taken by any of them. Who would ever just hand over a card with 1 billion yen in it? The card would make Batman's pet credit card blush. Yeah, that's a real thing. Damn. On which name Batman's credit card is set? On Batman's? That's funny. Don't you need, an identity verification, like a passport or something, to get a card? I don't know, because in the place where I live, we don't have banking almost at all. So, first name bad, second name man, obviously. That's good. The mountain of gold, the device for blowing up the island, the card with 1 billion yen, all of this surpassed their understanding. So no one could bring themselves to take it. I don't like it. What don't you like? Here you go, here's a mountain of gold, and I'll turn off the explosives and give you a card worth 1 billion yen while we are at it. It sounds far too good to be true. You're trying to trick us somehow, aren't you? I have no desire to trick you, but I won't try to force you to believe. I have offered you everything, revealed everything. What you believe and what you do is now for you and the new masters of the gold to decide. You are even free to disbelieve all I say and leave this place. Mr. Man, it would be... No, not him. I thought I escaped the Asul Man? Sorry. What you believe and what you do is now for you and the new master of the gold. What you believe and what you do is now for you, the new master of the gold, to decide. You are even free to disbelieve all I say and leave this place. Eva, I can't imagine that she's lying. And how could you know that? I don't like how relaxed she's acting. It's as though she thinks she's already won. I just had an idea a second ago. What if she's lying about which is the off side of the switch? What do you mean, Nassan? Just a second ago, this woman flipped the switch saying she turned off the bomb. But what if she actually armed the bomb? We solved the riddle, so you turn the bomb switch on, trying to blow us and everything else up, right? If this is what you think, then please feel free to flip the switch on the clock. It will be midnight in 1 minute. The clock will show you the truth. What did you say? Hey, what are we supposed to do? Is the bomb set to on now or off? I don't think she could be lying. It's inactive now. We shouldn't flip it. But I don't like it. Why is she so resigned to her fate? Why is she offering us things one after another? She's tricking us to buy time. She wants to buy time until midnight so she can go down in flames alone with us. What about the switch itself? Is there some way to tell it's off or on? Oh, switch is the little thing up here. On the upper part of the antique clock was a metal switch that could slide right and left. Currently, it was set to the left. However, there was no marks in particular on either side to indicate which side was off and which side was on. Hey, tell us the truth! Which way is off? Left. It's off now. Rudolph, you idiot! You really expect an honest answer from her? Isn't the opposite? It has to be... It's the opposite. It has to be. The right side has to be off. Is she gonna switch it? We don't have any more time, Nassan. Stop it, Eva. Don't touch the switch. It's already off. Eva-san, take your hands off it. I agree. It's off now. If she wanted to kill us with a bomb, she wouldn't have told us about it. Excuse me, Eva's the only one who survived this shit, so I trust Eva. She's really good at surviving. But, Beatrice, don't think you can trick me. 5, 4, 3... Is it gonna be flipped in the image? You could change the clock fingers to not be close to midnight, right? Probably. Or maybe not. Maybe it would activate it or something. If I constructed the bomb, it would activate the clock. The bomb. Mwah. Eh? The second hand of a clock ticked past midnight. October 4th ended, and the curtain rose on October 5th, 1986. The switch was still pointing to the left. The witch's words has been proven correct. Have I gained your trust now? You bitch! With a hideous, sweat-covered expression, Eva snatched the cash card away from the witch's hand. How about bank book and seal? We can withdraw anything with this just with card. All you need is a pin. It's 8 digits long. Wait a second, I'm writing it down. Eva and Curie both took out the pen and notepads and began writing the 8-digit number the witch told them. That is everything I have to tell you and give you. I will say nothing more. All of my tasks have been completed. After saying this, the witch spun around and sat down on the bed. She wasn't even looking at the others anymore. She sat here like an empty husk, which had, just as she had said, finished everything it existed to do. For a while, everyone watching the witch to see if she would remember something else and start talking. However, she said nothing further. The witch who had called herself one of the dead was now little more than a large French doll wearing a black dress. Again? Really long tea party. Usually tea parties are short, and the question mark is a long one. Why there's no golden eagles on these ingots? Gold is the only physical embodiment of magic that can appear in the human world. Since ancient times, even a small fragment of it could control man with its magic. Sure, in this case, how much magic power would dwell in it, if it was piled up in a mountain so high that you have to look up to see the top? Don't be stupid, we'll split it evenly. Isn't that the obvious solution? Didn't we say that the half of the pile would belong to me and the other half would be split between the four of us? The yells of people dancing around the room reverberated throughout the underground room. Here we go. In front of the pile of gold, they were arguing about how it should be split. Could you have solved the riddle all by yourself, Nissan? You couldn't have, could you? The four of us siblings solved it together. Of course we split it in 4 equal parts. Coward, aren't you the one who first made the proposal about the gold's distribution? Why Kraus and Natsuki are always so antagonistic to everybody else? Like, Jesus Christ, you already found the gold, just agree to have everything equally. It's gold. You don't even need this much money. You guys suck. Coward, weren't you the one who first made a proposal about the gold distribution? How can you disregard them so easily? You really think that you're in position to bargain? Weren't you the one hiding Dad's death? That's right, that's right. You've been swindling us the whole time, treating Father's wealth as if it was your own. All you need to do is split the gold evenly, and we'll drop all the rest. It sounds very fair to me. Yeah, I agree. Well, if you're going to say that, let's just try splitting it in 4 ways. Feel free to split the pile in 4 and carry out your shares home. Don't be a dick, Kraus! Like, woo! I hope you have pockets that can hold 2.5 tons of inknuts. It seems you'll all be driven mad by the gold and lost all ability to make rational judgments. What do you mean by that, Kraus-Nissan? Look at this ingot. As you can see, there is no official markings, just Father's crest. How do you intend to turn and mark gold into cash? Well... Have you finally figured it out? This pile of gold may be worth 20 billion yen. However, that's only if you can exchange it for cash. Are any of you capable of liquidating this many unmarked known inknuts at the proper exchange rate without word of it getting out? It was... the good old classic greed. If it was necklace or ring, exchanging for cash would have been a manageable problem. However, to do this with several tons of unmarked gold that couldn't be made public would be impossible for any normal person. However, Kraus could do it. Sorry? Among the several business associates who had been close to the family since Kinza's generation, there were some who had black market ties and sufficient financial clout. Butler, we need to cook. Butler, sorry, money laundering and all that make me remember something. Can you just ask Beatrice how she liquidates the gold? Liquidated? Probably some of you can find some ties with the black market just like Kraus does. The billion yen tied to the cash card, the golden witch had handed out, was also money that had been liquefied via one of Kinza's connection. However, none of the other siblings had any connection like that. They would have to rely on Kraus to exchange the gold for cash. I mean, that puts Kraus in a huge advantage. Now you're finally seeing it. I apologize for hiding all of those things about Father. However, your position is not so strong that you can use them as leverage against me. You really, she has a gun. You really think that little thing gives you an advantage? What do you intend to do with a gun? Please, put that vicious thing away. Eva has gripping the gun so hard it looked like it might snap. Tarantino scene is going to be here right now. They all gonna point guns at each other. The 4 guns that the witch had placed in this room were now in the hands of the relatives. Just as the gold had led their hearts astray, it seemed these guns had the magical power to turn their hearts to violence. You went on Slayer mode immediately. Finally, a scuffle arose between Eva and Kraus. Off to the side, Natsuki started arguing with Rodolphe and his wife, and the grunt in the ground VIP room filled with a cacophony of angry outbursts. Nichido's surprised. Angel Face was starting to confront with pain after being forced to watch this scene for so long. It was only natural after being shown this abusive argument between her parents and her other relatives. What on earth? It was painful for Leon too. Leon would have tried to intervene and calm them, if that had been possible. The gold wouldn't go anywhere. It was just took their time and thought about it calmly. They would be able to resolve this. True! Eva and the others had argued that they had needed a lot of money before the end of the year, which was understandable. However, the billion-yen cash card would be more than enough to pay for that. True! Oh, it's silver now. With their emergency expenses taken care of, they could liquefy the gold at their leisure, then just split it among themselves. Sure, maybe Kraus was the only one capable in converting the gold. Why the music was so dense? That might give him an advantage over the other siblings. However, the gold couldn't be dealt with by open means. In addition to attracting public attention, it would also lead to various legal problems. Ooh, they're addressing it. It was better for this secret money to remain secret. If they wanted to get the largest portion possible, they should all agree not to tell anyone about this gold. In other words, to maximize their profits, they needed a gentleman's agreement that all of them would keep it secret. Kraus did have a slight advantage. However, it was possible for the other relatives to refuse to cooperate and tell the world about the gold. And then there was also concealment of Kinzo's death to consider. Kraus was the investor. He needed not only financial clout, but also a certain degree of public confidence. Confidence? His advantage wasn't big enough for him to act so overbearing. True, okay, I agree. The mountain of gold has made everyone lose their ability to think rationally. This isn't an argument between adults, it's just fun between kids. Thanks, Leon. What's so fun about showing this to us? Or is this the game of some new witch? New witch just dropped? How do you wake up? Or is it a game of some new witch? Are they watching us suffer from somewhere and laughing? But now, even I didn't have a clue who was showing us this, or for what reason. At the very least, it doesn't look as though this new tale is overflowing with affection. At first I thought it was a tale of a beautiful world where no crime occurred, since Claire had gotten past all of her regrets. But something's different. This tale is clearly filled with ill will towards us. I'm sure of this much now, but I don't have a clue who would want to show us this. Suddenly, a loud explosion rang out. Explosion? I thought it's a gun. It didn't feel like a sound of gunfire. After all, most people living a normal life never heard the sound. Drip, 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 drip. The sounds of thick raindrops hitting the floor. There was no rain in this underground room. It was the sound of blood dripping down from Natsuki's right eye. The bullet had gone through her right eye, towards the back of your head. I didn't expect it. I thought they gotta go. What? Eva shoot her? Natsuki? It's your fault for jumping at me. The gun, which fell from Eva's grasp, landed at the floor with a hard metallic clang. As though in response to the sound, Natsuki had slowly turned to face the ceiling. Announcement. Betrayal. Natsuki. Natsuki dropped backwards. When the back of your head hit the floor, a red splash spread out beneath it, forming a single flower to adorn your dead face. Natsuhi-san. Why did you shoot her? Why did you shoot her, Eva? Eva! Kraus howled, raised his gun, and ran at Eva with a gun. At the same time, Hideyoshi leaped between them. A scuffle broke out between the two men. You killed Natsuhi! You killed Natsuhi! Kraus-Nissen, you've got it wrong! We've got it all wrong! It was just an accident! Eva, how could you? I'll kill you! I'll kill you! I didn't shoot her. I didn't. I told you to stop and she just jumped at me and... Kraus had just seen his wife killed before his eyes. Didn't you need to, like... put out a safety first in the gun in order to shoot it? Did the guns was just without safety in the first place? Kraus had just seen... I mean, it wouldn't be surprising, I guess. It's your fault for jumping it who shot her in the face. It's really, you know, Beatrice-esque to just put guns without safety on the table. Kraus, who had just seen his wife killed before his eyes, had lost all traces of rationality in his expression. He was so furious that if he had knocked Hideyoshi aside and jabbed at Eva, he might have torn her throat out. Maybe they are old guns. Most of their safety would be not charging the weapon. Uh-oh. Why did you kill her? Why did you kill her? Eva! It was an accident, an accident. Calm down, Kraus-Nissen. Oh, whoa, whoa. Another explosion ran out. Stop calling it explosions. Hiroshi's face was covered with blood. Rip. Eye for eye? The two of them had been fighting over the gun Kraus held, trying to push it away from themselves. Then the barrel had turned and pointed at Kraus's chin. Oh, The sneering, formless reaper, master of the room of gold, had swung its six once more. A line of blood trickled from Kraus's mouth. What? Out in the background. Well, this was fast. Nah, I think she doesn't care at all. The two fell down and Kraus's body on top of Hideyoshi. Letting out a cowardly cry, Hideyoshi backed away before Kraus's body could cover him. Honey! I didn't do anything. Kraus-Nissen's fingers just got caught on trigger. It's an accident, I tell you! That's right, an accident. It was just an accident. Everybody just like... And Kiryu is not impressed here. As a pair of them broke down sobbing and repeatedly claiming that it was all an accident, Rosa and the others were unable to say a thing. The witch also watched this scene but said nothing and appeared to be completely disinterested. It wasn't our fault. It was just an accident. An accident. I mean, you now kill Kraus, so you can agree. You can have a gentleman agreement. You saw, right? Right? You saw that, didn't you, Rosa? Kraus-Nissen and Natsuhi-Nissen both let their emotion get a hold of themselves and charged us. Well... I can't say I'm sure. Stupid Rosa, you saw it, didn't you? You saw it from right here, so you must know. I'm sorry, I can't tell if it happened by accident or if you killed them and tried to make it look like an accident. Rosa, you... Rudolph-kun, you saw. You know what happened, right? Right? Sorry, but I agree with Rosa. We can't tell if it was an accident or intentional. Rosa's and Rudolph's gazes looked very cold and indifferent to Eva and her husband. What are we going to do? They were shot to death. We can't just write this off as an accident. The forest. We'll say they went to the forest and went missing. Then we can't buy some time. That won't get us off the hook, right? It's time for Eva and Hideyoshi to pretend as if Kraus and Natsuhi are still alive and like pretend over before as a relative that they're still alive and they're just, you know, never went out from the room or something. Like Kraus and Natsuhi did with Kinzo. cinematic parallels. And anyway, why would those two off? And anyway, why would those two go off in an uncultivated forest like that? It looks suspicious from the start. There's no way we'll get away with it. It'll be okay. If we hide the corpses here, no one will be able to find them. If we all play dumb, it'll work. Ew, so you're all gonna be stinky with corpses smell. It won't. There's no way you could fool the police. If the two of them disappeared during the family conference where we were arguing over the inheritance problem, the police won't just put it down in a case of a missing persons. I just thought of something. Though Eva has been scratching at your head, overcome with emotions, her arm suddenly felt as though their strings has been cut. What did you think of? An accident. We just need to make it look like an accident. Don't look stupid. What kind of accident? There are clear gunshots wound on both corpses. Even if we burn them and make it look like they were caught in a fire, it'd still be obvious that they were killed by guns. A fire? That's not good enough. We need more. A much more massive accident. A massive accident? Eva slowly walked forward, tapped on it, and spoke. An explosion accident. We just need the sort of accident that will leave no traces of their corpses. Normal face. She played with a switch that would cause an automatic explosion at midnight. Eva spun around to face them, a crazed expression on her face. It was a truly mad inspiration. They flipped the switch on the right and waited for midnight. The 900 tons of explosion would wipe up the mansion without a trace. There wouldn't even be remains of the corpses. There would be no way to tell that they had died by gunshots wound before the explosion. Oh, now she's like... Your eyes is not as open. It's an unmistakable fact that this island is still filled with explosives from the war. Then, by coincidence, tomorrow night, something will set it off by chance and the whole thing will explode. Yes, it'll be an accident. An explosion accident! What do you say? There's no way the police will find out the truth. This way, we can pull it off. We can hide the matter of their death. How ridiculous. So this one time where Eva survived in one of the games, somebody did tell her about this, and that how this one time she was the only one who survived, supposedly? Shaking, Hiroshi frankly searched for a counter-argument, hoping to repudiate Eva's mad idea. But he couldn't find one. If they blew everything up, the fact would all be muddled. They could make it look as though Kraus and Nazi had died in an explosion accident. It's just perfect. After all, it was an accident that they died anyway. We just changed the type of accident. Isn't this right? We can think up any story we want. By chance, the rest of us will happen to be in a hidden mansion tomorrow night. Then, when an explosion accident occurs, it will be lucky enough to survive. That story should work. Just what sort of a story are you planning on? What kind of story could explain how the two of them alone remained here while the rest of us went to the hidden mansion and conveniently managed to escape? That's what I've got to think of right now, stupid Rosa. It doesn't matter what it is as long as we all agree to it. I'll think of something. I'm thinking... You all think too. Someone think of something. Calm down, Eva. I think about it, and so will everyone else. We'll definitely think something of it, and it'll all work out. We'll share the burden. You won't have to carry it all yourself. Did you ask other people about this? It'll be okay. It will. I know we'll think of a good excuse. What kind of excuse? We took the kids all the servants to go exploring an underground passageway, leaving just the two of them behind, and the rest of us all decided to spend the night in a hidden mansion? How could any excuse work? It's insane. A lot of new expressions, new Rosa expression, and thinking of that insane thing is our job. Why are you acting like this has nothing to do with you? You think of something too. Now, son, let me ask you a question. If you blow up this island, what will happen to the gold? Well, we have finally gotten our hands on a 20 billion yen of gold, and you want to blow it all away? We can't just carry it away, it's as simple as that. The explosion will happen tomorrow at midnight. We have a full day. If we carry it together, we might... You realize there's a 10 tons of it, right? Oh, so now they're accounting for it. But when Kinza was hiding the gold from the government, nobody gave a shit about this, okay? Eva has that Saturday morning villain in your heart. She does. It was funny. You realize there's a 10 ton of it, right? We're a small group who can each shoulder a sack of rice in weight at best, and we only have a single day. Just how much do you think we can carry back and forth across this long underground passage that goes all the way across the island? Oh, you need to have this thing with a wheel that you need to push. I don't know how it's called in English. You're being absurd. Here, we have this cart. We have a cart worth 1 billion yen, which that woman gave us. We can just carry whatever gold we can. We can have the cart worth over 10 billion on top of that. Can you just frame Beatrice for killing these people? I mean, she already said it to you. Just say to police it was Beatrice. And don't tell them about the secret room. Easy breezy as that. If you split the three-way, we'll have more than 300 million each. You realize there is a 10 tons, right? Okay, so it's anyone for kid certified. That should be enough for all of our purposes. No thanks. What? There is a mountain worth 20 billion yen right here. Why should I be satisfied with a measly 300 million? Rosa! Eva's face twisted in anguish and was met by Rosa's look of cold unconcern. Even if we factor in Krau's Nissan share, that give us a rightful stake of a 5 billion yen each, subtract the 300 million from the cart and the rest of my share is 4.7 billion. If you argue to pay this much to me, then you can do whatever you want with a mountain of gold. What do you think you're saying? So you don't intend to cooperate? Son, please calm down and listen. I'm going to suggest to you the way that both of us can live with the money. What? I sent you to go to the police and turn yourself in, admitting you got into a scuffle and the gun went off. Are you crazy? I don't want to go to the police. Of course, we don't want to say that the crime happened here. The police would find the gold. Yes, what about the rose garden? It's pouring rain now, so the police would probably won't find any contradiction in the crime scene. I'll let you think of an excuse for how you and Nissan started fighting while you were holding the gun in a rainy rose garden. Don't try to get us and our shares involved just because you want to hide your crime. Rosa! It's not so bad, right? It's not like they'll lock you up for decades. It was an accident, right? You'll be able to get out after just a few years. Once you paid for your crime and gotten out, then you can do whatever you want with your 5 billion. No, absolutely no! What would happen if we were arrested? What would happen to my husband's company? Who cares about the company? With 5 billion yen working any longer would be just a waste of time, right? I mean, I agree. It's kinda rational. Rosa has never intended to go along with the idea you proposed. As far as the size of each person's portion went, no one had anything to gain from an explosion accident. By doing that, they could conceal Kraus and not his death. There was no other reason to do it. From Rosa's perspective, the ideal outcome would be for them to confess to their crimes without any unnecessary tricks. All she wanted to do to change the crime scene from here to a different place. However, Eva didn't want to be arrested. I mean, Eva, you're guilty. Like, huh? She didn't like having her share shrink from 5 billion to 300 million, but even that was more than enough to cover the amount she had been trying to wring out of Kraus in the first place. She wanted to hide what had happened here, even if it meant blowing away 4.7 billion yen. What would happen if they were arrested? Their life, the company, the trust that Eva and her husband had worked so long to build, those were things that couldn't be brought back with money. So she wanted to hide Kraus and not his death, even if it meant blowing up all 4.7 billion yen worth of her gold. But from Rosa's perspective, that was just irrational nonsense. Rosa! What do you think you're doing with a gun, Nathan? Now there too have guns. You're going to misfire and kill me too? It'll make fighting an excuse even harder. In fact, it'll also make it hard to explain why the other two deaths an accident too. If you end up linked to the 3 deaths, that's a fairly huge crime. They'll seek the death penalty, more likely. And settle for a life sentence. At the very least, you'll be put away for a good 10 plus years. Give up and turn yourself in. If you do, there'll be no more than a pair of unfortunate accidents. Of course your prison terms won't be too terrible either. Don't worry about George-kun. We'll take good care of him. And we'll make sure that all 5 billion of your share will be waiting for you when you get back. Whoa, all of them are terrible people, I guess. I shouldn't be surprised, but whoa. Yeah, that goes in the Shiramiya family, that tracks. Eva ground her teeth and glared. The Rosa she knew should have been shaking and obeying her commands, and yet Rosa wasn't scared. Her blank expression, no, that slight smile, was the one Eva had never seen before. Put the gun down, Nessan. If you calm down, you'll see that my plan is the best one. Prison isn't so bad, right? Think of it as financial strategy. Yeah, you don't even both need to go to prison. You don't have to be like Rosa and whatever his name, Hideyoshi. I mean, Eva and Hideyoshi. You just, you know, only one person can go to prison, and the other one can do, can do business still. Try to uphold your reputation and be like rational about it. Even if they put you for 10 years, there will be 5 billion waiting for you when you get out. It's like working for a 500 billion yen salary, right? If you think of it this way, you might even enjoy your job. Liar! You just want to make off with my share while I'm here! Like your man did to you. He has nothing to do with this, okay? I'm not going to run off. I would never run away with money. I would never do this. Rosa's once stony expression was filled with rage. The two howling people pointed their guns at each other, shouting insults at each other. In the end, only Beatrice could have survived this. You could smell the Gold's room reapers linking closer. The smell of a gunpowder, the explosive smell of death filled the room. One more. Blurp. A bubble of blood dripped from Rosa's mouth. Ooh, he was killing everybody. Then she fell over lifelessly, like a mannequin. Eva? Is Eva gonna become Eva Beatrice now? It wasn't me. I swear I didn't even pull. Fuck. It wasn't me. I swear I didn't even pull the trigger. Bang, bang, bang. Pull my devil trigger. Why is she like fucking, I don't know, like wash from tree god? What is this? What is this pose? Another one bites the dust. And another one go, and another one go, another one bites the dust. Yuna-san, you just shot Natsuki-san, so your gun wasn't loaded, right? You never loaded, so even if you pulled the trigger, that gun wouldn't kill anyone. Have no fear. She's so funny. This pose is so funny for me. Like, look at her. Curie, what the fuck? If you're such a ruthless woman, why didn't you kill Asumu? Or maybe she did kill Asumu. Yumenesan, you just shot Natsuya-san, so your gun wasn't loaded, right? You never reloaded, so if you pull the trigger, that gun won't kill anyone. Have no fear. Oh, Curie has the right type of, tism that counts bullets when somebody shoots. Curie said this. She maneuvered the lever action with a practiced hand, and a smoke-smelling shell casting was ejected. It hit the floor with a small metallic sound. That tiny sound had a disturbing ring to it. Reza-san analysis was a little naive. Converting this many unmarked gold ingots into unusable money, she has no idea how difficult it would be. Rudolph is like behind her, ominously standing. Lever gun. We are in the old west now. Yo. Did that just hold on? A stretch. Did I just use it as a show money to gain confidence, and even that was enough to create a rumor called the Legend of the Ceremonial Gold. Oh, only 4 siblings left, right? Everybody else dead, supposedly? Eva and Hiroshi and Rudolph and Curie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was enough to create the rumor called the Legend of the Ceremonial Gold. It's impossible to liquidate it. What do you mean it's impossible to liquidate it? It's not. If you really... I disagree. How it could be impossible to liquidate it? Probably there is some way, at least. We can liquidate some part of it. A pile of gold you can use is no better than a pile of shit. Great quote. 10 tons of gold exchanged in the black market. The successor and his wife died in suspicious circumstances. Expecting that not to attach attention, it is what's really impossible. It's better not to get the police involved. We'll blow up this island and destroy all the evidence. If it's stove pairing with a gold, feel free to grab a few ignots. The billion-yen in the cash card is more than enough. In other words, Imanesan, you're right. I'm glad. It looked like we're on the same page. If the police get involved, who knows what might happen? It's the same with cashing in the gold. It just creates the more opportunities for war to get out somehow. It's more than we can handle. I love... what's the word? I love how... what's the word? I love how the tone of a story is so different in so many scenes. Like, what is it? What is going on here? I mean, it kind of has the vibes of Killing It Before, but all the killings before were like mystical, but right now it's so real and kind of rational. I like that the tone is like all over the place. It looks like we're on the same page. If the police get involved, yeah. The billion yen that women over here exchange for cash is the only money we can get our hands on. And even splitting that billion, it'll be more than enough for what we need. The music is annoying. So this is what actually happened then? Everyone had the sudden gold rush? No, it was said that this is the only game that this happened, that they solved the epitaph. No, before Beatrice was killing all of these people. Or maybe you wasn't here. Beatrice told them that if they didn't solve the epitaph, she would blow up the island and she would kill at first 12 people and then she blow up the island, like this. Yeah, it was Beatrice who killed all of them. Supposedly. In all of the other games. Yeah. It was said that she was planning it for a long time. That's why it's all so meticulous, and that's how she killed all of them. And she also set up all the locked room mysteries and shit. On top of that, the billion yen that women over here exchange for cash is the only money we can get our hands on. And even splitting that billion would be more than enough for what we need. On top of that, now the truth is that our shares have increased even more. We can each leave this island with 500 million. Exactly. As long as we don't let our greedy desires of cash in gold control us, we can pretend that everything that occurred on this island never happened. We have a way to do this right here. There was no longer any reason to worry about accidental discharges of people being shot to death on this island. Everything would be erased equally by the explosion accident. No matter what happened between now and midnight the next day, everything would be rewritten by the explosion accident. You told me to turn myself in? Stupid Rosa. You weren't satisfied with a measly 300 million? This is what you get for being too greedy. You got nothing more than you deserved. But Kiri-san, there was no need to shoot her, right? Even Rosa-san would have figured it out if you just told her. I didn't need to shoot her. After all, Rosa-san's the only one who didn't fire your gun. What does it matter? The guns landed at your feet on Krau's Nissans and Eva's Nissans. Both of those had been fired. However, Rosa-san's gun can be shot if you just pull the trigger. It's hard to reload one of these if you aren't used to a lever action. An amateur couldn't do it. Kiri-san, what are you talking about? You... They finally realized what Kiri meant. Rosa has the only gun that could still fire. She would shoot you first. Oh, how foolish we were. Why didn't we realize sooner? We should have realized that there is a mechanism for erasing everything that happened on this island. Even Hiroshi hurried to pick up the guns that lay at their feet. Is she gonna kill children? Current track ridicule. Uh-oh. Yeah, I was here, but by the fact that there isn't a witch showing themselves, or a game master, or any illusion magic, which Claire being the one who shows it, is this actually happens? Not in the game, just like what happened on the murders? I don't think so. I think it's Beatrice was all the time before it, because all the time it was different. I mean, one time there was the Eva was the only one who survived, and probably something like this happened. But before that, the people who survived wasn't these people. I don't know. Maybe for you to understand it, you need to like play the game from the beginning. I don't think it's what actually happened here. Because every time it was something different. I'm bad at explaining stuff. At the same time, fire spot from Kiri's guns once more. Hiroshi let out a short scream, clutched his chest, and fell over face down. Well, yeah, but it's actually having illusions of Beata doing it instead of revealing the truth that Beata had nothing to do with it. Directly, at least. Let's just keep going and see, I guess. Sorry. I spaced out thinking about this. No, I think I am all that all the times before it was Beata's killing that they masquerade as those like mystical events, and this time we see everything without any mystical parts in it. I don't know why. They're gonna tell us probably, but No, it's fine, I just feel bad if I interrupt her mind. Ah, don't feel bad, it's fine, it's totally fine. We have all the time in the world. Or at least an hour more. He Hiroshi let out a short scream, clutching at his chest, and fell over face down. Honey? Honey! What's wrong with this? Eva fiddled with a lever action, trying to imitate something she vaguely remembered from old westerns, but something seemed to be cut, and the still open lever didn't budge. See? It's pretty hard. You... Kiri finished the reloading with a fluid motion. The way she held it was innocent and sure as a kid playing with a squirt gun. Squirt gun? You mean like a water gun? With another heartless cry of gunfire, the puppet called Eva slumped down to the floor, as though all her strings had been cut. Did you kill Asumu, Kiri? Adolf-san, the billion-yen card. Sure. The cash card was $1,000,000,000, which Eva had just grabbed from the witch. That alone was worth more than enough. The 20 billion yen pile of gold was screwed everyone's sense of value. People could kill over a few million yen, and this was $1 billion. Rosa-san, those were some famous last words here. A measly 300 million? You were too greedy. No doubt. Lucky me. I don't have to fish through her corpse. Are they gonna kill Beato? As Rudolph walked up to Eva's body, he found the card lying beside it and picked it up. So this thin little card is worth $1 billion yen. Keeping the company going feels ridiculous now. Shall we close up shop and spend the rest of our lives in some southern country? That would just be boring. Besides, I like seeing you get all worried about some problem, then play around like a little kid when you finally overcome it. Sure you do. Thank you, Miss Golden Witch. Rudolph-san and I will make good use of this $1 billion. Yeah, this is one of the worst outcome for Beatus, actually. This is insane. And Leon thought it was the best one? Damn. Called it good old West. Well, okay then. Oh. But I haven't made any promise. She pulled the trigger without a trace of mercy. Yeah, some witch really having fun here. Damn. When the ringing of a gunfire died down, blood trickled from the witch's mouth, and she fell over onto the bed. Once again, Curie ejected the used shell casting. The 4 metal sounds of used shell hitting the floor seemed to symbolize the fact that Rudolph and his wife now possessed all shares of the gold. What about children? A lonely deep-sea fish. All of them were really slow-witted. From the moment she explained about the bomb, the entire notion of playing nicely vanished from this island, and they failed to notice. Sorry about this, Aniki, Rosa. What can I say? That's just how the cookie crumbles. Cut me a break, okay? Aniki and Aniki get into a fight, Rosa gets dragged in, and I run away with a bone. Just the same way it's always been, right? At the start, Rudolph Curie didn't plan to kill everyone and take everything for themselves. Curie had quickly realized that the size of a gun in her hands, that it would probably hold 5 rounds at a time. Yeah, both Curie and Rudolph knew a lot about these guns. Rudolph had gotten his interest in old style. Okay, Hideko teaches us that we should know more about guns. That's cool. Rudolph had gotten his interest in old-style Western guns from his father, owned a shotgun of a similar design. Since Curie had the same skill in handling firearms, they both knew about those guns to enjoy shooting together. Including the witch, there had been 8 people here, 6 people beside the 2 of them. Each gun held 5 rounds. This was one shot. They didn't have enough to kill everyone. I was honestly surprised when they got into a fight and one of the guns went off. That coincidental accident had proven the missing bullet. It wasn't a second slot. The very first shot, which had accidentally killed Nazi Heap, had guaranteed the result of a massacre. In the smoke and corpse-filled room of gold, the two of them were easygoing smiles, hardly any different from the ones they usually wore. So, what now? Rudolph picked up Rose's gun. Then he fired the rest shot at the wall and ejected the old shell with a smooth motion like Curie's. Curie went to the box of bullets on the table, casually picked up a few and loaded them one after another into her gun. Set the bomb switch on, then we just need to wait 24 hours. The others made a lot of noise when they realized everyone missing in the morning. Then we just need to shut them off. Yes, so. What about Butler? He's your son, not mine. You're sponsored by guns. It does sound like some pro-gun stuff. Don't say that. He really took a shine on you. He respects you, you know. And think of something clever that will convince him. I'm worried about Angie. You worry about Butler-kun. Fair enough? Sure. I may be kind to my own child, but it's quite a struggle to me to treat Asuma-san's kid the same way. You understand, I hope? Kiryu's voice had grown cold. Kiryu had acted warmly towards Butler because that he had been the adult thing to do. He was Rudolph's son, so she just tried to avoid being unkind. But underneath, he was son of Asuma, the woman whose death had done nothing to quell the hate Kiryu harbored towards her. Now that she had given birth to Angie and finally built up a new family, was Butler's return really such a happy thing for her? Brace yourselves, now that we've come this far, we can only go for 1 billion yen or die trying. If Butler-kun is inconvinced, I'm sorry, but I won't be taking any chances. No need to threaten me. I'll take care of it. I'll find a good story to tell him. Make sure you do a good job of it. If Angie hears that Butler-kun has died in an accident, I'm sure she'll be really sad. Sure. How do we start? We have nothing to gain by waiting for morning. Now is the best time. Oh, wonderful. Now, not even time for a break. She showed on the screen? Okay. Where are we going? Oh. They just called him. Okay. A test? What is he thinking? At this time of night? Right now? Butler yelled wildly into the receiver. When he said, at this time of 10, George and Jessica turned to look. Rudolph, why did you shoot the wall? According to the clock, it was past midnight. It might be a normal time to brush their teeth and go to bed, but they couldn't understand what their test was all about. Okay, I'll hand it over. Here, George Ariki, it's my dad. Sorry, block nose. Hello, this is George speaking. Hey George-kun, sorry to call so late. I bet I didn't wake you though, right? You're still up chatting away? Pretty much, Maria-chan is sleeping. Oh wait, looks like she just woke up. So, what did you want to talk about? Butler-kun said something about test. Yep. That can be such a pain sometimes. He suddenly came down from his room. A bunch of stuff happened, and he suddenly started talking about which grandchild will make the best successor. But isn't Uncle Kraus the successor? He said that none of us are good enough to be successor. Ooh, huh? I wonder if this happened before. So he's talking about skipping us adults and choosing one from your grandchildren instead. It's really shaking us up, having this force on us all of a sudden. Anki and the others are all arguing about it across the room. Maybe you can hear Anki's shrill voice leaking through across the phone. Is this so? I think you just interrupted them. Yeah, obviously, but I was curious if something like this happened last time, because last time they too did a test like this. I mean, not last time. Time before last. It was like 5th episode, maybe? In this case, what should we do? He says he wants to call you one by one, starting with Jessica-chan. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, you still here? Look like George-kun and Jessica-chan will be the first up to bat. Uh-oh! He wants Jessica-chan to go to a parlor in the mansion. Okay, that's what happened before. You're supposed to go by the chapel. It's so sudden. I hardly feel ready. What sort of test is it? Look like Dad's meant some sort of crazy quest. Some weird question about what it means to be the head. Of course, George felt as though something wasn't right. However, Kinza was famous for doing radical things on a whim. Even this strange test seemed plausible once he heard that it was a sudden idea of Kinza's. Ooh. That's funny that they used Kinza being insane here as a bait. As a notion for the bait. Too many lusts. It is. Like an interview, they should just have to wait in a reception room and go when they were called. Why would two people be called to different places at the same time? This plan didn't seem to make sense, which made George feel as though he was missing something. Still, I wonder why he wanted you to go to a chapel of all places. It seems your grandfather expects a lot from you. I'm not sure what it is, but I think he wants to talk to you about something alone. Grandfather wants to talk to me? I wonder what it is. You're the most accomplished of all of his grandchildren, after all. I guess there is something he wants to tell you in particular. Well, anyway, that's what he says. Get over here right away. I'm also supposed to go here. Let's just get this over with. We'll both catch cold if we keep this up. Is it so? I see. Then I'll head towards the chapel. Jessica-chan will go to the parlor. Okay, see you in a bit then. Just so what sort of test, what sort of private conversation could kids want to have at this time of night? However, it was a well-known fact that Kinza didn't have very long to live. Remember when Jessica killed Curie? Who George killed that time? It was on the love trial test. Who George killed? Oh, George killed Eva. Okay, it doesn't count. However, it was a well-known fact that Kinza didn't have very long to live. It was considerable that he had some last words for each of his individual descendants. Inside George's mind, the faint feeling that something was wrong and replaced by curiosity, and a desire to meet Kinza directly and hear the details. George sat down the receiver and quickly explained to the others. To be the head, always his head. Sorry, Godzilla. It's as you heard. Grandfather said that he wants to give us all some kind of test. A test? I think we could kill Maria. After hiding in his study all these years, he decided to give us a pop quiz this late at night. Time to solve Jizer. What is he thinking? It seems our parents feel the same way. It sounds as though they are very worked up about it. Curiosity killed the cat, or now technically the George in this case. Well, I doubt getting worked up about it will change Grandfather's mind any. Exactly, we might as well accept it. It's the order of the head of the family after all. Let's obey it. To start, Jessica-chan and I will be called out. I'm going to the chapel. Jessica-chan, you're supposed to go to the parlor in the mansion. What about Maria and me? I think they'll call about you later. You can wait here. A midnight test. What could it be? What kind of test is it? A quiz? A puzzle? I'm really good at wolves and sheep puzzles. And Maria, who was now fully awake, seemed to be very excited about this unexpected midnight test. Then we'll just hang out here. Yes. Okay, I'm going. I think they're already waiting for us. Foreshadowing something relatively obvious. So he's making one of his grandchildren the successor. Sounds just great for me. Now I can let one of you guys deal with it. I'm gonna become the successor. I wanna do it. It'd be fun to have Maria as a successor. Bye. See you later. This was the last time they saw each other. Rudolph put down the receiver and stood up. Okay, guess I'm going to the chapel. It's damn cold out here. Goro-san, have some coffee waiting for me when I get back, will you? Next to Rudolph, Goro was lying face up. His face was covered in by a crossword puzzle look. However, its pages were stained with blood, and there was no need to move the book to imagine how he had met his pitiful end. How was it? A nice script, don't you think? Yep, we should be thinking that. All we gotta do is say it's him being fickle, and no one think to doubt it. Then let's split up. I'll take care of Jessica-chan. You'll take care of George-kun. Oh, it's revenge. Kiri revenges Jessica for killing her last time. You got it. Let's get over this quickly, then relax with some coffee. There won't be any problems, yes? No sudden pangs of conscience? He smiled coldly. It probably would have been safer to call them out one by one and finish them off together. However, Kiri had chosen to have her husband work separately. She wanted to measure Rudolph's resolve. If she was the only one who got her hands dirty, the Rudolph just watched. His heart would not be dedicated to this venture. Didn't Rudolph kill Goda by having him dirty his own hands? She could make him truly determined to see this thing through. Kiri is so evil. Kiri understood this sort of mind better than anyone else. Rudolph relatively averted his gaze from the cold glint in her eyes, but then he just shrugged and answered her question. Of course, we have 1 billion yen riding on this. I'm a man. I'm not going to miss a chance that will never come again in my lifetime. I expect no less for you, Rudolph-san. I love people who seize chances when they come. That's why I fell in love with you. Thanks. I'm glad. Rudolph-san. What? You will stay? Huh? What did you say? You will stay. The same Rudolph-san that I love, right? Of course. When have I ever let you down? Uh-oh, he shouldn't have said this. What goes around comes around. Someone in the background. Are you quoting Capricorn Boomerang? Shut up. Instead of that, you should be worrying more about the kind of champagne we'll use to toast our victory. I'll do that. Take care now. If you really treasure Butler-kun, don't kill George-kun in front of the chapel, okay? It'll be a real pain if he finds a corpse. Yeah, I know. I'll lure him away somehow. It's raining outside. Should be some way to do it. Just why didn't you ask him to go to the other place? Why the chapel then? Isn't it dumb? And you aren't the villain of some old western, got it? Don't grant any last request or ask for any last words, okay? Kiri lifted up her gun again and pulled on the lever. To eject the casting from the bullet she had killed Goda with. Oh, she killed Goda! Okay. Why didn't Kraus kill Goda? Fuck, his name is not Kraus. His name is... Hmm? Genji? Honey! Honey! Yu was holding Yoshi's body and crying. She hadn't been shot at all. The bullet had... Excuse me? She hadn't been shot at all. The bullet had grazed the side of her head and missed. It's called being shot, by the way, just saying. He's dead and you don't remember? Neither do I. She hadn't been playing that. She really thought that she had been shot. When Kirigan spat fire, Eva felt something swift and fierce escape past her head, before fleeing lightheaded and fainting. Then later on she woke up in no silent room of the gold. The corpse of her beloved husband lay beside her, along with the corpses of crows Natsuki and Rosa. It was a room of death and piled up bodies. When she had cried all she could over Hideyoshi's body, she realized that she still had something she needed to do. George is in danger! George! George! They're trying to use a bomb, blow up everything, to bury this whole island with an explosion accident. Eva checked the clock and was proven right. As expected, the switch was set to the right, which means it was active. Eva moved to flip it to the left and stopped. That's right. As long as the switch points to the right, everything that happened to the silent will disappear into the night of illusion. Yeah, this is an illusion. No matter what happens tonight, everything will become muddled and hidden away. You're going to kill everyone else. That has to be it. I'm sure of it. When she looked at the table with a box of bullets, she saw signs that they had grabbed several large handfuls of bullets from the box. It clearly showed that they planned to use that many bullets. I have to fight, if only to protect just the life of my precious son. The gun that I dropped when I was shot is stuck with the lever handle open. No matter how hard I pull, it won't open any further and it won't close again. A bullet must have gotten jammed and blocked it. Just as Curie said, loading a bullet is tough if you aren't used to it. Please, honey, lend me your strength. Help me protect George. Lend me your strength. In Hideyoshi's hand was Krause's gun, which he had been trying to pick up. Eva took it, prayed for her husband one more time, and tugged on the lever handle. With a light metallic sound, the golden casting spun through the air and bounced off the ground. When she timidly tried to push the lever back, this time it returned to its original place without any resistance. There was another metallic clang. It was the sound of a new bullet being loaded. Eva was the lock studs all the way up. True. I figured it'd be something like this. Someone scheming to show me the game that disgusts me the most so they can laugh at me. In the game so far, various people have been suspected of being a culprit or an accomplice. The only difference now that Rudolph and Curie were those suspects. However, that was the most aggravating development possible for Angie. Even Leon was full of painful thoughts. They had been lucky enough to solve the epitaph, which was the only miracle that could lead to a game with no victims. How ironic that they were unable to prevent the tragedy. Does this mean that we aren't allowed to have a future where we all happily reunite from this island alive, even if the epitaph is miraculously solved before the crime occurs? There will be absolutely no miracles. I recall those words which I had heard in one of the fragments Percastel had shown me. Percastel-san, you showed me how wonderful my world was. I don't want to believe that you created the tale just to hurt Angie. By now, even I realize that you're a game master here. Please tell me, why are you showing this? Why are you showing us this game? Of course, no one answered Leon's muttered question. The game created to mock Angie's continued emotionlessly was more terrible twist that didn't betray anyone's expectation anymore. Huh. Stop with your terrible game you like. You're trying to say that this one of the endless possibilities inside of a cat box, right? Just do whatever you want. I won't let something like this get to me. Someday I'll find out the truth of what happened on October 5th, 1986. After meddling music for the end of the episode, after meeting Curie in the parlor, Jessica had told that the test would be held in the dining hall, and she followed Curie here. And Curie, there is no one here. You'll be here soon. Sit over here. Jessica sat in a chair looking nervous and agitated. Curie was by far the calmer of the two. Curie closed the door behind her, revealing the gun that rested behind it. Jessica was facing the other way, so she saw nothing. Did you hear anything, Auntie Kitty? You know what kind of test is this? Yeah, it'll be over soon. I sure hope so. As she complained, Jessica turned her head around and the tip of her nose bumped into a cold metal. Whoa, that's fucked up. Huh? Uncle Rudolph? What are you doing? Just can't bring myself to shoot you in the back. Careful, guns are dangerous. What on earth are you doing? Come on, Rudolph, shoot him! You're like, why do you need to talk? Just pull the trigger. Please, I told you to pull the trigger just right away. What are you doing? You really have to ask why someone put a gun and pulled the trigger? Oh, he did it. Good. Good. Rudolph rolled it rapidly and pulled the trigger again without any signs of hesitation. Why this gets a BG? George looks good here, like with a blood wound and a blood. Damn. sorry. Why did this deserve the BG? At the sound of a gunfire, turned through the rain, George grabbed at his side and fell to his knees. That's weird. Looks like it shoots slow. That's really got it bad. Somebody! Help me! Uncle Rudolphus! George started... No! I need to take a break. George started stumbling away, still clutching at his side. His voice, as he called for help, was weak and thin. Behind him, Rudolph looked perfectly calm as he fiddled with a gun and inspected the sides. It hurts! A gorging pain in George's side tormented him. It was so painful that he could barely stand and walk. He leaned against the trunk of a tree. After he crouched down, trying to cover his wound, he had no longer able to stand back up. George didn't have a clue what was going on. However, he had thought it strange the whole time. Of course, it was strange that he should be called out to a place like this at a time like this. And yet, how could he have guessed that something was wrong? After all, his own uncle had told him that his grandfather was calling for him from the family conference. How could he have gotten suspicious? Sorry about this, George-kun. It hurts, doesn't it? If I knew it'd be like this, I'd have been more merciful to blow your brains out from behind. I thought it'd be too cruel to finish you off before you knew what hit you, but it looks like I've got it backwards. Why? Uncle Rudolph? Why would my kind uncle do this? For money, kid. For money. Just forget about all this, but tomorrow night none of this will have happened. With a quick use of a level handle, he loaded another bullet. The casting of the bullet that had pierced George's side fell heartlessly in front of him. He was gonna die in a sudden, unfortunate accident. Until this moment, we'll all have a big, happy family. That's just how it's gonna be. So don't worry about this. Forget it all. Of course, George didn't have a clue what Rudolph was talking about. All he knew was that Rudolph wanted to kill him and that he showed no trace of hesitation. The image of George had Rudolph as the ideal, cool, joke-loving adult didn't match up with Rudolph standing in front of him holding a gun. Who drew this BG? It has some weird vibes in it. Some really curious vibes. No, maybe it didn't fit because it fit too well. Even though there was a gun in his hands, Rudolph had a huge smile on his face as though he was about to tell some hilarious joke. Why would that kind, funny Uncle Rudolph do this? It made him feel unimaginably sad and tears flowed from his eyes. Uncle Rudolph, I admired you so much. You know, this isn't the most important thing that had happened. I didn't think a lot will face me after everything umineko will already thrown at me. Oh. Oh, it is what it is, I guess. I'm just enjoying the story at this point. Haven't I told you, George Kuhn, to make sure you don't end up as an adult like me? Now you see, in the next world, take it your first priority to learn how to recognize a real bastard. I know you can do it. Ooh, this is foreshadowing. After all, it's just another kind of studying. Biting down the pain in his side and summoned the last of his strength, George threw his whole body into a roundhouse kick. At the same time, fire spat from the doll's gun. The bullet pierced George's chest. George twisted and fell as blood gushed from the wound. He moaned wordlessly, clenching blood-stained teeth. The frigid gun was pressed harshly against his temple. So long. Go become a great man in the next world. Don't get blinded by money like me. I can't believe that my uncle would kill for money. You're so innocent. People can kill for money. The ruthless trigger forestalled any further questions. George's hands, which had been covering his wounds, dropped listlessly. After Adolf saw the last glimmer of life leave him, he let out a deeply exhausted sigh he'd been holding back for some time. I expected worse. Adolf looked up into the dark, rainy sky, and the raindrops hitting him full in the face, and laughed with an indescribable expression, his tongue hanging out. I figured my consciousness would be giving me a harder time. Now that it's over, I'm surprised how little I feel. Adolf started laughing. This was probably just the thing Curie had hoped for. It had taken some effort to kill George. Though he had been merciless, the last traces of consciousness in Rodolph's heart had probably slowed him down. However, now that he had killed someone with his own hands, a turning point that a few people ever reached, Rodolph had finally awakened. No, he finally understood. It's exactly the same as screwing suckers out of their money. The same old game of musical chairs. When there's a pile of money up for grabs, there is no price for taking your time. The slow ones just get kicked down to hell. It scammed dozens of unfortunate subs and burned them in debt. Several of them probably ended up bankrupt, and some of those might have hanged themselves. And I always laughed, saying that it wasn't my problem. That's all there is to it. The only difference now is, for the first time, I've dealt the final blow with my own hands. Thanks, Curie. You were always the best at cutting away my naivety. Rodolph's evil laugh rang out. The laugh was so purely evil, it was almost refreshing. Evil that still has a coincidence and thinks itself good is far more repulsive to behold. If a man commits himself to an evil act, how much more pleasant and graceful it is when he is honest about his intentions. In this sense, Rodolph's evil smile and laugh truly were pleasant and graceful. And so, surely the brutal, bloody stage of the dining hall was also refreshing. Double kill. Sorry, got sidetracked again. We should take a break. Who's beating who? A clang, a thud, a crack, a squish. Ooh, a rap? Okay. A break. I think the writers may have been going over with all the explaining. What? I think the writers may have been going over with all the explaining of this particular part. Like, the action speaks enough about how evil it is. I mean, yeah, I agree. Break. 5 minutes. Be right back. I'm back. While I was on break, one of my gel nails fall off, which make me real upset. Why the fuck did I wasted fucking 4 hours of my life on doing nails if they just fall off in like a week? What's the point? Dumb bullshit. It's unfair. The real tragedy of the stream. Yeah, all of this shit in umineko. It's bullshit. But my nail! Doing nails is a waste of fucking time. Never again. Okay. Sorry. Umineko. Ignore all the murder. Oh, hold on. No, a second. I'm mute. Okay. We are back and ready. Am I gonna finish tea party today? What are we going to do in the next episode? A clan, a tag, a crack, a squish. A rush and a push and a boom. This was a final straw, money pain. No, it was a stream where you lost a nail. Pretty fitting, right? Ew. Okay. Let's not talk about nail. It makes me upset. A strange mixture of those sounds kept repeating over and over at the same tempo. Each time a red splash landed on a nearby dangling tablecloth. Jessica-chan, are you listening? Curie asked this with the sort of smile any aunt might make to her niece. However, Jessica didn't answer. There was nothing particularly surprising about this. After all, by now, her nose was broken, her eyes had been smashed, her teeth had been knocked out, and not only her nose, but her entire face had now hardly recognizable as a face, just a lump of bloody flesh. It gets deeper at the ends, not only after all the murders are committed, but also some explanation to Angeline, right? So yeah, who knows, may take a little while. Thanks for that image, Minako, thanks. Yeah, Minako has to know to be kinda gory. Kitty finally stopped her task of repeatedly smashing Jessica's face with a stock of her gun. Really? She's smashing Jessica's face with a stock of her gun? What is she doing? Still sitting on top of Jessica, Curie tossed her gun to the side, pulled a compact out of her pocket, and looked at her own face in the mirror. Then finally she realized that her face was covered by speckles of flesh blood. Why Curie is such a psycho this time? How terrible, these clothes will have to go too. With a muffled laugh, Curie shakily rose to her feet. Jessica wasn't moving anymore. She had been convulsing a bit until a second ago, but now she was as still as a stone. Intense music. When it comes to punching women in the face, your aunt is an alt pro. Sorry about this. If you haven't resisted, I couldn't let you have a much cleaner death. Curie pulled the tablecloth off and used it as a towel to wipe up the blood from all over her body. However, instead of taking the blood off, it just smeared it around, and did nothing to remove the stench of blood and death that covered her. When she got tired of smearing blood over the tablecloth, Curie walked over to the extension telephone in the corner of the room. Then, she dilated the number for the cousin's room in the guest house. Uh-oh. Hello, it's me. It's your turn now, Butler-kun. You're the next to go to front of a chapel. Yeah, that's right. I haven't given any instruction about Maria-chan. Have her wait here. Giggle? Yeah, take it seriously. I'm rooting for you to be chosen as a successor. With the same smile as usual, and a partly wiped splash of blood still covering her face, Curie finished her call to Butler. When she set down the receiver, there was a small knock, and Rodolphe came back into the room. Whoa, what a mess. Jessica Chan had better reflexes than I give you credit for. I didn't expect you to knock the gun away when she did. It's a bit of a shame she had to end up looking like this. What a waste of good looks she got from Natsuhina-san. And how about your aunt? Did he give you much trouble? No problems here, plain and simple. When Curie heard Rodolphe's instant response, she favored him with an evil smile. Yes, the man she loved was the sort who would do whatever he put his mind to without letting cheap emotions get in the way. I love you too, Rodolphe-san. I wouldn't have any of this other way. It's hard to imagine an easier job to net you 1,000,000,000 yen. It's like Dad always said. In the life of every man, there comes one day where he has to be willing to kill. In other words, always be willing to kill if your own survival depends on it. That's my favorite of the thing he used to say. What's next? My rifle is hungry for blood. You've got a big jump coming up. Convincing Butler-kun. Ah, that's right. That'll be a pain. Hope I don't have to end it by pulling the trigger. I'm fine with it, you know. A little family of 3 with Angie. But if you really want Butler-kun to join in on that, good luck. Sure. I'm not going to give him the room to argue back. Don't worry, I've worked out a scenario to trick him good. Good luck. I do hope for Angie, beloved big brother, not to get caught up in an explosion accident if it can be avoided. I know. Alright, I'm heading back to the chapel. Rodolphe-san. What? If Butler-kun doesn't buy it. I know. If it comes to that, bang. Remember, Butler-kun is the type to take action so much so that he left the family out of the protest when I married you. If your story to him isn't airtight, and he starts questioning things later on, he'll prove fatal to us. I know. Believe in me. So, if I decide that Butler-kun isn't a little bit suspicious, I'll kill him myself. He's not my kid, after all. Yeah, I know. So, Curie, promise me one thing. What's that? If I can trick Butler and 3 of us make it off this island. Yeah? Never say that Butler isn't your kid again. You're his mother. Please. Sure, I promise. Curie shrugged and answered as he loaded bullets. You go to the chapel. I'll wait until Butler-kun has left and then clean up everything inside the guest house. Sure, you'll be alright doing it alone? You worry about yourself. Curie would make an 80s slasher serial killer scared them. Butler left the guest house under an umbrella. True, angry. He had to be called out to the area in front of the chapel, just like George had been. Not even half an hour had passed since the time George and Jessica had been called out. Apparently this test didn't last too long. Damn, Jeezer. You didn't want to show up for lunch, and now you show up in the middle of the night with a test. I'll bet living as a shadow and got his sense of a day and night all backwards. Uh-oh. Called out. Comparing all the way, Butler strolled off into the rain. Almost immediately, he was swallowed up by the darkness in the rose garden and paused out of sight. And then, Curie could be seen coming out of the darkness of the rose garden. Her right hand held a gun, her left an umbrella. Her inner pocket contained the master key ring she had stolen from Goda. Her right pocket had a handful of bullets. Her left held a knife she had taken from the kitchen. She was a carefully and perfectly outfitted murderer. Another bolt of lightning struck down from the swirling skies. It lit up only half of Curie's face. Her cheeks were still covered with Jessica's blood. Under the eaves, Curie folded up her umbrella, smiled, and spoke to no one. How's it going, everyone? Who's in here? Genji? Sharon and Kanan, if they weren't killed, as Beatrice underground. And who else? Nanjo and Maria? No! What's your name? Her name completely went out of my head. What's your name? No... Erika. No, Erika. Where is Erika? Why is Erika not here this time? Somebody doesn't like her. Rodolphe could be seen under the eaves of a chapel. He had hidden his gun in the nearby shadows and was now smoking a cigarette. Should be easy to trick that dumb dimwit, and if he doesn't work, then just too bad. He glanced over the place he had stolen his gun. The cigarette smoke began to pleasantly cloud his mind. Butler isn't a kid anymore. He is an adult who can choose his path through life as he pleases. When animals grow up, it's normal for them to leave their group and go on a journey. Humans are the only ones that keep treating them like little kids even after they get back. If it was going to come to this, I should have never begged for you to come back. I regret dragging you back into the family. He puffed out those words, along with the smoke. When Butler came, he didn't intend to voice those regrets of his. Rodolphe had already determined to play the part of an evil murderer who kills for money. He's still not here. What's taking him so long? At the moment, he heard the sound of someone stepping on the gravel. He looked up, thinking that Butler had finally... Oh, it was Eva. Butler finally arrived, but the sound had come from the direction opposite of the mansion. Rodolphe, how could you? How could you do this to my husband? Aniki, so you're alive. Yes, sorry, but I lived. Too bad, but my husband wasn't so lucky. How could you? How could you? With a face obscured by anger and tears, Eva slowly walked closer, her gun raised. Her husband has been killed right in front of her. She probably wouldn't even hesitate. Realizing that the gun, quivering with anger, was pointed right at his chest, Rodolphe backed away. As he pretended to back away, he approached the gun he had hidden in the shadows. Calm down, Aniki. Put the gun down. I never wanted this to happen. Everything happened too fast. There was nothing I could do. How could you say such half-baked lies? As Eva had said, it really had been a half-baked, pointless thing to say. Rodolphe would have said anything if he thought that it would calm Eva's emotion before she pulled the trigger, which she looked capable of doing at any moment now. The last time we saw Erika was after her failed wedding, right? Hope it isn't the end of her. No, they agreed to do rematch with Butler and Beatrice. What happened to this? When is rematch? Probably next episode, but... which she looked capable of doing at any moment now, when Rodolphe's foot came in contact with his gun. Let's just talk this over. George Kuhn should be here soon. Oh, hey. George Kuhn, we're over here. Rodolphe waved, although George was coming from behind Eva. Really? Eva brought it? Let Eva's attention turn in this direction. That idiot. My simple big sister was always been a sucker. Die! Yeah, Butler not gonna buy it. Gunfire. Then a bit later, the sound of something heavier than rain, drip-dropping onto the cobblestone floor. Rodolphe! I've always been able to see through your tricks! The bullet Eva fired had struck Rodolphe square in the chest. The bullet Rodolphe fired had missed, landing near Eva's feet. Oh, Eva's so lucky! Everyone talks about Godzilla vs. Kong, but I want Butler vs. Erika very much. True. Guess I was right. This gun does shoot low. He dropped the gun into a puddle with a splash, tugged it backwards, and leaned against the wall of a chapel. No, that's not it. All good westerns end with a bad guy's bullet missing. Eva dashed up to him, kicked away with the gun that had fallen into a puddle, and grabbed Rodolphe by the collar. You was rolling those not 20s like it's just another Tuesday. Where is he? I won't let you kill him. Sorry, Anki, the deed's already done. You're lying! Did it in the bushes over here. Go take a look. Oh, Butler is dead. For sure. You'll see. Rudolph. You... You who said she had always been able to see through her little brother's tricks, also knew that Rudolph's final words, as his consciousness began to fade from having been shot, were not a lie. How could you, George? An empty shell casting bounced off the cobblestone. The furious gun barrel has pressed against Rudolph's forehead. Go ahead and shoot. I doubt they'll bring you much peace, though. I think he meant George. A bolt of lightning turned everything white. However, the wall of the chapel was stained with blood red. The red splash, like a crushed tomato, covered the wall behind Rudolph's head. Then, leaving a red trail behind them, Rudolph slid down the wall, sat on the ground, and fell over. George! 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 Whoa! Eva dashed off towards the bushes. She found George's corpse, almost immediately screamed and broke down sobbing. Butler takes a lot of time. Rudolph's body corpse was exposed to the rain that sat down of the eaves. His eyes were still wide open. A rugged, fist-sized hole had been turned open in the back of his head, exposing its contents to the open air. Inside was minced flesh and bright red jelly. That goop, which looked like something he had mixed up with a spoon. Tasty. Dripped from his eyes, nice. Ears, mouth, and the hole in his heart. Okay, I'm imagining like a jello. Red colored jello. But... okay, sorry. Butler is a slow walker, it seems. Guess he's also lucky. Is he? Eva gonna see him and shoot him immediately because, you know, child for child? Probably. Dead! And she clutched at her head, sobbing and moaning. Her father had dirtied his hand with murder over the money, and on top of that, he had faced such a cruel end, and Angie has been forced to see his corpse. What do you mean cruel? He was just shot twice. It's not that cruel. I mean, it was hard to imagine a more painful experience for Aurora to go through. I'm totally fed up with this. It's completely meaningless. Bercastel-san, I know you're here somewhere. Please make this game stop. There's no point to it. Maybe it's Lambda's game. As if in answer to yell, a black shadow appeared, a few seats in front of them. Oh no, she's here. Jessica had a crueler death. Yeah, she did. Or perhaps she had been sitting here the whole time. There was a part when they were killing Beato. And in order to kill Beato, they needed, ouch, to gorge out your heart. Like literally, in the real world. It wasn't like a metaphor. Somebody literally pulled out your heart. And it was explained in really gruesome details. Really funny. It was like in episode 3, I guess? Awful. Maybe he just couldn't see her until we realized she was here. Indeed. It was without a doubt the back of Bercastel's head. Bercastel-san! Lie down back here. Can you watch the show quietly? The witch turned around with bored eyes, as though the two were yelling were the strange ones. Please stop this. We realize that this world is a sealed cat box world of October 4th and 5th. The games are like messages, or maybe more like roundabout love letter, conveying a single message over several games. But we already understand. We know that Endless Tales can sweep out of the sealed 2-day cat box. And beyond that, I even know the culprit and the motive. That has already been revealed, and it has nothing to do with this game. Yeah, she's doing it just for fun. We both know the answer, that this is the cat box tale. So there shouldn't be any reason to hold further games like this. If this is supposed to be a game between you and us, then we already know the answer. The game should be able to end now. Just shut up already! Don't you hear Byrne tell you to be quiet? Another shadow appeared in the next seat over, turned around, and scolded the pair. There's a point. If you just watch, you'll see it. Are you the game master? Not at all. Then who is it? Could it be Claire? You'll watch, you'll see. Not much longer now. The tragedy is really reaching its climax. Who'll survive, I wonder? Castell isn't the game master? Then who is? Could Claire have created this cruel tale? Or are there even more witch playing around with this catbox? Is this Aurora? Or Butler? Your words of mine, anyway. Oops. The guest house was wrapped in silence. There was no sounds, no trace of anyone's presence, no breathing from anyone alive. There wasn't anything to be heard anymore. If there was a sound, then that would be only the sound of a murderer's feet stepping across the floor. Curie slowly passed through the lounge. In her right hand was a gun, in her left hand was a knife. The knife was stained with blood, and some still dripping from the tip, leaving behind red tracks like demons' footprints. Her hands were filled with tools of murder, so she wasn't capable of doing anything but murder. In that sense, at this moment, she was nothing more than a pure and unadulterated murderer. The murderer reached the front door, and then finally she looked down at her blood-stained hands. The hands that carried the tools of death with which she had performed her cruel massacre. At last, the murderer realized that she couldn't even open the door like this and threw away the knife in her left hand. Then she placed her hand on the door, turned around calmly, and spoke. Sorry, everyone, but don't worry. Oops. In a few days, the newspapers will be talking about an unfortunate accident, and I'm sure the newspapers, and all the rumor-spreading people will say that you must have spent your time in a happy ignorance until the instant of the incident. In other words, they'll mean that you all had a good time until the midnight of October 5th. So said the ones who had stayed in the guest house rat. At this hour, the cousins are all staying up late and playing around. The servants who have the morning shift are all snoring. The ones on a late shift are probably feeling the luck of taking break about now. That's how it is. From here I am now, I can hear the laughter coming from the cousins' room. Humans outside the catbox could probably never understand what Curie was saying. Only she, shut inside the catbox of the explosion accident, could understand the true meaning of her words. Outside, the rain poured down heavily. Curie almost picked up the umbrella, but then stopped suddenly, as if she just thought of something. Then she started walking out into the rain, not caring at all whether she got wet or not. Did the murderer not want an umbrella to get in the way of her pouring her gun? Or was she hoping that the rain could act as a shower to get the blood off her? Curie stopped walking, as though something unexpected had caught her attention. However, this time, it was no whim of hers. How could you? Kill my husband? Oh, you mean Sam? That's surprising. How could I have missed you from the distance? I'm just as surprised. I still can't believe I survived. We came here from the underground stairway behind the chapel, right? In this case. That's right. I bumped through Rudolph in front of a chapel. Oh, not Butler? Did he look well? Oh yeah. It's been a while since we sibling had a nice chat. I see. He's such a show-off, but so unreliable in a tight spot. Looking like he's hopeless without me after all. Curie had already realized that Rodolphe had been killed. However, no trace of urgency or panic rose to her face. She just closed her eyes with her unusual, unconcerned expression, and when she opened them again, she had regained her composed smile. Thank you. I'm grateful. Now I can really have everything to myself. What's that blood on your clothes? Really leading into that Western duel vibe, huh? Don't tell me. Yeah, that's right. I'm in the middle of a murder right now. You killed them? All of them? Even Maria-chan? There was no reason to let them leave until morning. When morning came, there would be an uproar, and that could prove to be a pain. They might have used the wireless to contact someone of the island and gotten help. So this was clearly the best move to take, if you flip over the chessboard and look at it this way. Monster, I can't believe you're so blinded by greed that you committed murder! Don't forget that you did yourself. That was an accident! I didn't mean to kill them! I'm not like you! Oh yes, you are. If that gun hadn't gone off, you would have kept on arguing and graping with each other. If you had, then the two of you would eventually have reached the same answer as I did. Just a few steps slower. I'm not a murderer! Not true. You're absolutely a murderer, just one who didn't get a chance. You were saved by the accidental discharge, that's all. If it weren't for a bit of a good luck, and if I hadn't spun into action before you did, then she would have played the same role I'm playing now. This is in fact a truth of an alternate figure, and it won't go away no matter how much you try to deny it. Don't try and confuse me. However, on the inside, you understood. Back then, she probably have been saved by the coincidental misfire. If the argument had continued much longer, she would surely have grown a desire to kill Kraus and the others, and might even have carried it out. She simply could not deny the existence of the demon deep within her heart. Only the theatergoers knew, that they knew that she could become a killer in another world. And Curie, who did not have the theater-going ability, knew this fact also. Apparently, she really was an extraordinary person. Was she? Was she really? So for some time, I feel like she would be an extraordinary person if she could help these people actually solve this conflict without any death and no evil end. But now she's just, she's just doing the dumbest, the most obvious shit possible. I mean, not the most obvious shit possible in the Umineko franchise, but in the Umineko story. But here she's just doing... like, it's not impressive at all. I don't understand. You're also a monster. You felt the pain of giving birth to your own child. How can you not know how precious your life is? How are you capable of doing all this? You can create a child without even trying. What does it have to do with anything? Child are bonds. Is that what I mean? What? Children are bonds that can tie you into your husband. In my case, I'm bound to make Rodolphe's son acknowledge me, so I could take him back from this woman. But you've killed Rodolphe's son now, so you understand what it means, right? What do you mean, I understand? Right now, it's no man's life. There is no need for me to be a mother. I am me, Curie. Now that Rodolphe's son's dead, I'm not even Ushiramiya anymore. I live to benefit me. Right, Rodolphe is dead, so maybe you aren't a wife anymore, but you still have an Angie-chan, right? You're still a mother, aren't you? Didn't you hear what I just said about bonds? Now that Rodolphe's son is gone, Angie is no use to me. Oh! Shit. Okay. You... How can any mother say that about your own daughter? Nessa. Let's put a stop to this. Stop pretending to be so noble. Pretending? Did either of us marry because we wanted children? We didn't, right? We married because we wanted to live with a man we loved. And once you're married, you never want to let men go for the rest of your life, correct? Children are weapons to be used for this goal. So no one would have children for a reason like that. I don't think Eva is as insane to go for Butler. Even again, Curie's turn was very sudden. I don't know. I think she could kill Butler just like on a whim, in a wave of anger, something like this. Some people would have children for a reason like this. Yeah, guys, you keep talking, and none of you shoots. This is really dumb. Curie kept on speaking emotionlessly, ignoring the falling rain. Her fixated smile did not falter for an instant. It would be fun to see the sprites with the blood scar that they talk about, you know, don't tell thing, maybe in another version. Yeah, I thought about this too, but I didn't voice it. But I thought about it would be cool that Curie was like, had blood on her face and shit. It feels weird describing it. It is fun. I mean, it's just a story, it's not real, so it's fun, it's entertaining. In a way. It's okay. Or you could call her a chess piece, someone to play the role of the kid in your family drama. To me, and she was nothing more than a piece, necessary that I could act the part of a good mother in front of Rodolphson. You... Somebody are tormenting Angie here, huh? Who does it? Is it really Aurora? I don't see how Butler would have done it. You... Could you really say this to Angie Chan's face? Of course, that'd be pointlessly cruel, so I won't say this to her directly. I plan to write her a letter asking her to forgive her bad mother, then vanish from her life. You've seen that Rosa-san and Maria Chan alike, right? Now that Rodolphe-san's gone, and it's just a chain tying me down. I'll go back to being just Curie and enjoy the rest of my life at my leisure. A new challenge and a new life. And maybe even a new love. And you call yourself human. You call yourself Angie Chan's mother. You know what? I also think... I don't think this characterization of Curie in this story is how Curie actually is. I don't think that characterization of Eva is how Eva actually is. It kind of all flipped in order to, for some reason, to get to Angie. Who gives a damn about Angie? She's a little brat. I've never once felt any affection for her. How can you... You've been released from your family drama too, haven't you? Let's sing the praises of a woman's freedom. You should thank me for having George Quinn killed for you. You monster. Curie Beatrice. The two yelled and the sound of gunfire thundered across the dark rose garden. Slowly, Eva fell backwards. Then, she landed in a puddle, scattering countless drops of water. Across from her, Curie spun around as though dancing. Also, Butler is the only one who left alive in here too. Beautiful black rose petals scattered around here. They were dark red rose petals. As these rose petals sprayed from her throat, she spun around in a circle and slowly crumpled. Then she fell to the ground, sending muddy water flying. The two women had both fired their guns and fallen. However, when the thunder roared, it was only Eva who sat back up. Oh, Eva is alive. Okay. Punt. Again, Eva has a P-luck. Eva could beat Coco with this luck. Eva hadn't been shot. Curie intensity had made her fall backwards, but the bullet had once again only grazed her. You were cursed your good luck. Why couldn't this luck have saved your husband or your son? Die here, for Angie's son's sake. You'll be killed in an explosion accident. Until the moment of your death, you worried about your daughter you left behind. I'll crave that message into the lid of a cat box. What did you say in the cat box? When Curie heard this, blood dripped from her grinning mouth, and she seemed to say something in response. However, her voice came out only as a globs of blood from the hole of her throat, not words. Mom. Mom. It's a lie. It's all a lie. Angie, please calm down. This is just a game. That couldn't possibly be what your mother truly feels. It's just something that the game master made a Curie say. But saying that did nothing to calm Angie's sobs. I don't blame her. Even if she knows it's just a game, she's been forced to see not only her mother's death, but also her mother announcing that she was the culprit of a mass murderer who didn't even love her daughter. Anyone would sob after hearing this. I wouldn't. Bercastel-san, enough of this. I don't care who the game master is. Stop this pointless game right now! When Leon yelled at this, the theater suddenly went pitch black, swallowed in darkness. However, that wasn't enough to shock Leon. Skill issue, I say. Leon continued to yell Bercastel's name into the darkness, telling the witch to stop this game. Then a single beam of light shone down upon the stage. Claire's here? There was Claire, the one who had appeared for just a second right before the cruel game began. Claire, so you're the game master after all? I don't understand. Why? Claire didn't answer. In fact, it looked as though she hadn't even heard. Her eyes were blank, and you couldn't tell what she was looking at. In fact, she has even forgotten to blink. She looked just like a doll. Then, another beam of light lit up the side of a stage. Under this light stood Bercastel. At the same time, though there appeared to be no more in the audience, a large applause rang out. Bercastel raised her right hand in response to the applause. She kept doing so until the applause died down. Bercastel-san, so you're the game master of this game after all? Is Leon gonna be pointing that every person on the stage should be like, are you the game master? Are you the game master? Are you the game master? Leon, how many times do I have to tell you that I'm not the game master? Are you saying it's Claire? That's impossible. Yup, this is of course impossible. After all, Claire is dead. We were just conducting her funeral. Did you forget that? Then just who's standing here? The corpse. It's not taxidermy, so of course she still has her insides. She's hiding it under a beautiful exterior, but she's actually packed full of guts. Said Kuyan. When Bercastel raised her right hand, a light fell on it, and a black, singeing set appeared here. It was a cold, merciless, and cruel object, like something a classic Grim Reaper might hold. What are you planning to do? When they're alive, you can enjoy watching them struggle. When they're dead, you can enjoy tearing out their guts. Those are things you get to enjoy twice. That's what it means to be a witch of theater going. Bercastel pressed the blades of her ripped set against Claire's stomach, then slowly slid across. Then, along the line she traced, Claire's dress was sliced open. It was now clear that the seat she held was not a fake one for theatrical use, and it was clear just that she planned to do next that made her cruel smile so fitting. Angie, can you hear me? I hear you. You tear me to bits, made me read. What next? Are you showing me this worst possible tale to hurt me even more? Is it fun for you? Yeah, I'll bet it is. I had a grand old time with it too. Did you think that this would be enough to break me? You think I'll sit around crying any longer because of this disgusting game of yours? Both you and Leon seem to have their own idea. I'm not the game master. This tale is not the one I created. Then the woman in the dress is a game master? No, she isn't. That can't be. Then who's the game master? It's Aurora. Who created this disgusting tale? You still don't understand? What don't we understand? Angie, you gambled everything in the faint chance of a miracle, throwing yourself forward. Out of respect for your courage, I invited you to the two-day world of October 4th and 5th, 1986. What was your goal? To take your family back. That would be a very difficult thing, and without the blessing of a miracle, a thoughtfully impossible one. You were prepared for that, weren't you? Yes, I am prepared. And I still haven't given up on Nietzsche and Mom and Dad. Whether you give up or not is your choice. That's your own game after all. I won't stop you and I won't interfere either. You already enjoyed my field of games that use you as a piece, so I have no need for you any longer. Well, that's a relief. Then why am I here? Didn't you invite me? Yeah, that's right. I invited you here to thank you for entertaining me for a while as my piece. To thank me? Huh, so this is how witches show gratitude. Yeah, it's been a real blast, you sick monster. How dare you to do this to my parents? Putting them in this sick game. Angie, you made a wish hoping that you could take your family back. However, you made one more wish. Remember? No, I don't. No, I don't. I guess it puts the Dolbiato into a whole another context, huh? Maybe. You wanted to know what happened on this day? What happened in Kojima October 4th and 5th, 1986? Didn't Angie leave on her journey with Amakusa because she longed to answer this question? That's right. So, what's your point? You don't mean... Leon realized it because Stella was getting it, and because of that, Leon was too shocked to speak. The Game Master isn't because Stella or Claire. Then who is it? That's the wrong question. There is no Game Master. That could only mean one thing. Oh, that's what actually happened? Okay. Angie, you still don't understand? What? This is the truth. The insides of a kit box of October 4th and 5th, 1986. After this, Eva survived the explosion by escaping to Govadorian, and since she never spoke of the inside of a cat box, no matter how much you wanted to know, the truth was shut within the cat box for all eternity. What are you saying? Only Eva returned alive. Even though the police claimed it was an accident, the public didn't believe it. Then she took over her husband's company, and the harder she worked to make it more and more successful, the more enemies she made. In the eyes of the public, she became viewed as a queen of a vast criminal plot. I'm sure she wanted to tell people that what really happened, the truth that no one would ever believe without proof. But by that, Eva's heart began to snap. You rejected Eva just like everyone else, so she rejected you in turn. You were the last two members of your family, and your relationship was completely stained. Each time she compared you with her beloved son, she grew more and more twisted and broken. Then, a strange message bottle was picked up and became a topic of conversation. It contained a bizarre story, one which told of a mysterious serial killer related to the gold of Kojima. Everyone rejected the explosion accident theory and started to think up conspiracy theories. Some of those theories named Eva as a culprit, which tormented her even more. But Eva used even that to create the cat box. And until the moment of her death, she protected it. She protected the lock that held the cat box shut. So no human would ever reach the truth inside the cat box. Not unless the witch who crosses the sea of fragments opened the lock. This is the truth. I don't believe you. You're lying. You're lying! Lying! If it's actually the truth, you'll be able to say it using the red truth. But you can't! Of course you can't! Angie! Angie, calm down! Uh, uh? Angie writhed with such strength that the chain of her arm and leg looked like they might snap. All over her body, a red, gooey liquid started to seep out. What? Where's the blood from? It was as though cracks had opened all over her. Blood was leaking out of all of them. What's that? You want me to announce it clearly with the red truth? Then I'll do that, just for you. This is all truth. She didn't finish! She didn't finish! She didn't finish! No! And just scream covered up Burns' red truth. Stupid kid. If only you hadn't made me say that, I would have chatted up inside the cat box. But you did tell me to, right? I knew you would, of course. And I so wanted to see you scream like this. What a lovely expression, one that keeps me laughing for about 100 years. Go back to being scrap meat. I was about to type, I knew it, but yeah, she didn't finish. Mom, Dad, it's a lie, right? Lies, lies. Angie! Angie? As Angie held her head and screamed, the blood dripped from her finally grew so thick that it started scattering all over the place. What? Then bit by bit her body began to melt, no, fall apart. Then bits of her began to pile up on a chair until she was nothing but a pile of guts and scraps. Is the truth really such a precious thing? How absurd, how foolish. Why can't humans control their own truth? They stupidly search for truth like that's all that matters, and when they finally find it and can't stand it, they turn themselves into a scrap meat. Is this meta? Is Umineko trying to tell something to me? Hey, are you watching? Claire? You wanted to hide the truth too, didn't you? For fun, the whole several catbox tale. I sealed them in a message bottles like the end of one of those mystery novels you admired. Then you threw them into the sea to save those who would suffer if they knew the truth. You sealed everything in the catbox, and Eva provided the lock. And I've sliced that book open for you. Though it is character for Brent to do this, switch hero to play with NG. I've exposed all the truth you hid from your death. You hid with your death. Is that what you've been after? You did all of this just to insult Claire's death? And then you showed it to Angie to make you suffer. You really were an evil witch after all. Oh, Leon. I've been a witch the whole time. A traveler whose only goal is to escape boredom. Care for it and love it while it's alive, then eat the guts when it's dead. That's how witches live. What have you done is so unforgivable for me. You hurt Angie and humiliated Claire, the person I would become in another world. I cannot forgive you for this. Leon, despite all of this, you are what Claire longs to be. Even after death, she longs for it. From the moment that Claire had thrown from the cliff, your fate was already sealed. I'm sure it gave her a little bit of salvation to know that another her lives in happiness in another world. That's right. I'm your salvation. So I must live life to the fullest, live life for the both of us. Leon, let me show you just a bit more of the tale of the truth. I'm not interested. Don't worry. It'll be very interesting. Since the duel between Eva and Curie, the guest house is wrapped in silence. Let me invite you to the parlor at this point in time. The parlor? The one in the mansion. Jessica, is that here? No? Castell snapped her fingers, and the scene of a mansion's parlor unfolded before them. It was a cruel tale that they had just been shown. The parlor had been particularly important. Jessica had been summoned to the parlor, but she was then immediately led to the dining hall and killed here. Is Butler here? So there had been nothing in the parlor. And right now, there was nothing in the parlor that appeared before Leon. Just, what is supposed to be here? So is it truth or not? I'm confused. We don't know for sure, but probably is. If Erika said it in red, that it probably should be. It's what happened before fourth episode, and this episode seemed to be canon because Angie's from here, maybe. Now we're gonna probably next episode they're gonna write like really good story after this, for sure. I believe. Copium. Ouch. As you can see, there is nothing here. But watch. I'm about to show you something interesting. If you call it interesting, there's sure sign that it isn't. Go on, take a look. It's right here. Right in the corner. Castell was pointing at nothing more than the corner of the room. It is canon. Or canon. It wasn't worth making. There was nothing here. She had told Lan to look here, so Lan was expecting something terrible to be here, but there really was nothing here at all. That's right, there is nothing here. At least not in this world. But what if we peek into the next fragment over? Huh? Oh, Leon's dead? On a white blank wall, bit by bit, a splash of blood seeped into view. LOL! Get fucked, Leon! Sorry, I actually like Leon. Yeah, so in a universe... Huh? How would this work? In a universe where Leon exists, the same thing happened and Leon died? How could it happen? Sucks, nerd. Then right here, a corpse appeared, but that couldn't be. This is me. It was Leon lying dead against the wall. The death of Ushremi and Leon. Ushremi Leon's corpse lay here exposed. What's going on here? Why am I here? This is supposed to be Claire's word, not mine. Claire and I can exist at the same time, right? Yeah, that's right. That's because I just switched worlds, switching fragments. Switch to your world, that is. I don't understand. It's very simple. They both end the same way. I don't get it. Why would I be dead here? I don't get it. Why would he be dead here? Just because of a greed? Just because somebody solved the epitaph? No, but there's no epitaph. What? Why would Leon be dead in this universe? There is no Shannon and Kanan. There is no Beatrice. There is no Shannon and Kanan because they're Leon. There is no Beatrice because there is no reason for Leon to make up Beatrice because his life was relatively happier. There is still hidden gold, but there is no epitaph, so nobody had access to it except for Leon. In Kinzo, I'm guessing? What? I don't get it. Why would I be dead here? In your world, on October 4th, 1986, Beatrice's funeral was held just before the family conference. Yeah, I know that. And for me, what happened today a short while ago? From that time until late at night, do you know what happened? Nothing at all! The cousins are all going to play together, and the butler is not here in his universe. So how this works? This is bullshit. Yeah, but Leon would inherit all the gold shit, so maybe the other adults would try to kill him to get money. I mean, it's a possibility, but they're not even sure probably that money exists in Leon's universe. Because the only person who knows for sure that money is not a flop is Kraus, and Kraus Leon's father. So, huh? Okay, we need to continue reading. Maybe they can explain it. All cousins are going to play together, and the whole family have a dinner together. And that night, the family conference took place. You were going to succeed the headship when you turned 20, right? Was the entire family satisfied with this, I wonder? Okay, they just killed him for money. Okay, cool. I don't know if they're satisfied, but a decision has been made. The head made it himself. Look like, even if you don't believe that they were satisfied. That's it right here. Kinza adored you more than anything and tried to make an exception and set you up as the next head. Of course your children wouldn't have been happy with that. The siblings objected having Leon succeed the headship. Even Kraus joined in, saying that Leon was still too young. Then, on the night of a family conference, Kinza tried proposing the difficult riddle. You don't mean... That's right. The riddle of the epitaph. As you can tell by the mechanism set into the chapel, Kinza set up the epitaph trick near the beginning. Then the mansion Rikajima has been built. He had the romantic idea of someday using it as a test to select the next head. Okay, that's what fucked him. Kinza decided to present that riddle at the family conference. Did he plan to give the position of successor to the person who solved it? Or did he promise to consider Leon's position as a head if it was solved? Either way, Kinza was confident. He was confident that no one would be able to solve the riddle, which he had created himself. After all, everything happened exactly like the truth you just saw. The siblings solved it right away, and there was a clash over the pile of gold. Then Curie and Rudolph carried out the late-night murders to prevent any chance of the crime being discovered the next morning and an outcry being raised. Where's Butler right now? Just asking. They called the kids out from the cousins' room one by one, then killed them. At the first of the cousins, you were the first to be called out. Then Curie shot you dead right here in the parlor. No, that's not quite right. You're Deutsche Remia Lion from the early evening of October 4th, 1986. So I'll say it this way. Tonight, Curie will shoot you dead in the parlor. That's insane. Kinza relevant, I'm a genius, no one could solve my riddles. Relevant with its riddle path. Why the fuck? In the previous universes, they could never solve the riddle, but right now they're like always solving riddle every fucking time? That's fucked up. That's insane probability here. That's insane. It's... Holy shit, this is an insane universe where Leon is living. So, not only it's really rare for Leon to be alive at all, it's also extremely rare for all the relatives to solve the riddle. Like, huh? I mean, there is small probability of it's happening, obviously, right now that we know that it's actually happened, but fuck. This is so unlucky for him. Holy shit, Beatrice really is doomed in every universe. Riddle Master 5000 Captain, or probably Eva's luck again, maybe both. Oh, damn. That's really dumb for kids making this riddle then. Just like the miracle called Leon only has a side probability of rising from Claire, and Curie must only commit murder with a tiny probability close to 0. Aren't you the witch who specializes in finding extremely improbable worlds? That is correct. I had to find one fragment out of... Car? What the fuck? I think we know that Kinza is just dumb in the end. Yeah, that's true. I had to find one fragment out of 2,576,900 17. In order to discover the miracle that is you. However, it was very, very easy to find the result for your world. After all, probability isn't a factor. I'm a witch who can find any miracle, no matter how unlikely it is. But I can't find things that don't exist. If the witch of certainty really guaranteed that something is certain, then I can win against her. But then I was 2,178 blah blah blah. With this probability, out of this probability, you live in a world as Claire, artoid with by an inescapable tale and meet with tragic end. And with 1 out of 2,578 blah blah blah, you live as a ceremonial and are killed by Curitanite. In other words, your fate, not the fate the two of you share, taps you in an inescapable dead end, a hell of a fate with a huge amount of probability. To put it another way, it's a certain fate with absolutely no chance for a miracle. Too bad for you, Claire. No, Beatrice. My poor girl is doomed anywhere. A bright light seemed to turn the world white, when the next moment, they were back at the theater. As Claire stood absolutely still on the stage, the tip of her Castella's Reaper silk traced a line across her stomach. A red line was drawn across your white skin, exposed exposed now that the dress had been cut. The blood began to seep out. That huge amount of probability escaped made me laugh for some reason. Beatrice, trapped in this inescapable, certain, locked-away pair of days, you became a witch who could give birth to endless possibilities within the 2-day cat box. In exchange, it was absolutely certain that you would not be saved or rewarded. However, you had a dream. You dreamed of a ceremonial Leon? You consorted yourself with the thought of a miracle world where you could have lived in happiness. The world never have become Claire. I really had to work hard to find Leon. As Beata dreamed, Leon's existence was a true miracle, and in the end of your funeral, I wanted to show you that even with that miracle, you couldn't have escaped the strategy. Faced with a little bit of sky that she could see through the bars of a jail that imprisoned her, the witch called Beatrice dreamed of a world where she might have been a little happy. However, the sky beyond the bars was also part of a larger jail. The more I hear, the less I understand about you. Why would you do something like this? It's because I'm a witch. I lost the game to Beata, so I wanted to get better at her. Yeah, now I feel a lot better about losing this game. Hey, Beato, are you watching? Can you see this? And do you remember? Remember when I promised you that there would be absolutely no miracles? So, Leon, allow me to return to your world right before Beata's eyes. It looks like the witches of theater going are all sick and tired of those happy family get-together scenes. So I'll send you to the moment just before Curie shoot you. Then I'll make sure Beata witnesses the moment. Die, Puke-Spittle Lion. The last hope of Puke-Spittle Beato. Percastel raised your Reaper sit, swing it down with gusto, and plunged it deep into Claire's stomach. Well, this really ramped up suddenly. Did you think you get an easy death? Well, humiliating a corpse and tearing out its guts, it's what I'm best at. Heartlessly, ruthlessly, brutally, she swung the enormous blade buried in Claire's stomach back up towards the hands. Along with vertical line from Claire's stomach to her chest, the blade cut deeply, slicing Claire open. Her red-black inwards jutted out, and then like a dam breaking that burst out of her stomach, covering the world with dark red entrails. Still the diamond gold, you say? You covered the Shirmiya, and you call yourself a soldier of the Empire? Father? I do love and respect you, Father. But your feelings are something I... Oh no. Why? Why did you save me? Why did you let me die? Why didn't you let me die? Because of the terrible injury, I've been forced to live in a body like this. What? I never wanted to live in a body like this. This body isn't even capable of love. What? Is this Kinzo? What's the point in living like this? Like that. This isn't a human life. It's like being furniture. That's right, I'm furniture. What do you mean a body like this? Furniture. Why? Why didn't you let me die back then? Oh. Huh? What? Who is this? Is this Yasu? Or is this Beato? Or is this Kinza? No, it's probably either Beato or Yasu. I mean Beato daughter. Beato daughter of Kinza. I mean it makes sense Beato is somewhat deformed considering their birth. Maybe. But I don't think... Well, Beato Yasu, but still. Huh. Huh. When I came to... I was in the parlor of a mansion. When did I get here? I heard a sound behind me that slowly turned around. And there... Sorry, please don't take this personally. Huh? I could see down the frigid barrel of the gun and Curie was pointing. Then slowly she pulled the trigger. Bang, bang, bang. I could feel rather sharp wind pass through my body like a knife slicing through butter. Prepared for death and hoping to see my fate until the end, I slowly opened my eyes. The world had been cut in two. Kiri was frozen in a place like a statue, still pointing her gun with a cold smile on her face. It has been cut in half at an angle, the top part of her slowly sliding off to the side. No, it wasn't quite right. That wasn't right at all. It wasn't just Curie. The whole world had been sliced in half with an angle and was slowly sliding off to one side. Well? Fissures seemed to appear across the world, and before I have any time to process it, the world shattered. Maybe Butler? Yo! Predicted? So they can't get children since she said this body which can bring life. Oh, maybe. Or something like this. Then again, if she could, I doubt they would be able with a whole family on family action that's gonna happen. That was a weird part. Will's here. Ouch. 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 You... When you own cat, you tend to pick up their habits. When you own a cat, you tend to pick up their habits. What? Well, Will is a real child of Umineko. That's true, that's true. He pointed where Castell with the tip of the pitch black sword that had sliced the world, glaring at her. What is this? Are you saying you came back on a whim? There was no way you'd end things on a happy note. Do you really hate Beatrice so much? You'd think I'd let her win and get away? I have to pay her back in a full force for humiliation she caused me. When I hold a grudge, I don't forget about it for 100 years. You're a gloomy person. Please, you mustn't ignore my heart. Are you okay, Leon? Hey, what's wrong? Leon had suddenly doubled over, groaning. He was shot? No, my chest hurts. It's... Sorry? Spacing out. Are you going to tell me he's an old butler? It wouldn't make sense, but at this point, nothing is off the table. That's true. He kinda looks like butler. So, maybe? Will rudely grabbed the hand that pressed against Leon's chest and tore it away. Blood was seeping out of the place that Leon's hand had been. It was the place where the bullet would have entered if Curie had shot Leon. Leon's body is already in the process of accepting its fate. Leon, hang in here! Damn these chains! When Will tried to pick Leon up, you finally noticed the chains attached to each wrist and ankle. What's this? Are you trying to take the kid and escape? I won't let you. Leon needs to cover blood, despairing at the fact that there is no hope in any of the many worlds. We're all here to watch Leon die in agony and despair. Leon isn't a show. Will swung his pitchback sword and destroyed the chains biting Leon. Yo, he just can't do anything. The chains and shackles. The chains and shackles shattered into little bits like glass, then vanished. You intend to get in the way of my fun? You aren't God. All you can do is sneer at fate. Leon's fate is decided by Leon. You can't use humans' fate like a toy. You got God saying that to the great Bercastel, which we senate. I have no more use for you either, get it? I've shown that Beata's fantasy is a mystery and cut it into pieces. You fulfilled your role. I would have let you be if only you just left quietly. Let's just stroll down back here. You can hardly complain when I make you my plaything, can you? Come to me, my sweet little kitties, scratching them up and tear off their skin. Peel them like grapes. Grapes? Kitties? I am the Senate. Yo. Paredes is one of them, that's for sure. When Crystal clapped your hands twice, countless pairs of glaring jewels appeared all around Will and Leon. They were clearly cat eyes, but their breathing sounded far more terrifying than any cat. Will... I'll handle this. Trimming kitty nails is nothing new to me. Will is a cat guy. The number of jewels surrounding them already reached into the thousands. Will pointed his sword in one direction after another, warding off the surrounding cats. Get a grip, Leon. You haven't been shot. Don't accept that you have been... No, don't accept that you are going to be shot. Cool. Leon tried to fight an incredible tearing pain. No, it was right against the promised future that Castell had shown. However, the gorging stake representing that future, which the Witch of Miracles had guaranteed would hold absolutely no miracle, was firm and merciless. Bit by bit, and yet unceasingly, it continued to pierce Leon's chest. Listen up. I'm gonna break through the perimeter for just a second. When I do, you need to run with all you've got. Don't change direction, just keep running. It doesn't matter where to. Just make sure you get far away from this place and keep on running, no matter what happens. Oh, is Leon gonna beat Butler? I'll try. To the best of my ability. If I can't do it, please forgive me. If you can't, never say die. I won't let you. Claire won't let you. Did you forget that yours, Claire, won in a lot of chance? If you give up, you're betraying all the hours used in countless words. So don't lose heart. Keep on struggling and struggling. Don't look for a miracle. Be one. Be a miracle. You're going to reach a happy future. You can't give up and you can't complain. Just you try complaining one more time. I'll be the one punching you ass. Okay. Giggle, giggle. How very confident you are, telling this kid to be a miracle when you stand before the Witch of Miracles. Miracles are no more than fantasy. Grovel in a world that has been convicted as convicted as a mystery and die horribly like a worm. The Witches of Theatergoin are looking forward to watching it. Oh, time to go. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.